Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Junk podcast for February 2013. This is episode number 14, and my name is Sean.
My name is Franklin.
My name is Andrew.
And coming up on this long-awaited episode of Game Junk, we're going to be talking about the big news, PlayStation 4. We'll run down as much info as we have and sort of talk about our thoughts on that. We'll also get to, I guess, a long-awaited review of the Wii-U. Frank's thoughts. Both Andrew and I played it a little bit. We'll talk about that. And we've also got a bunch of stuff we played. Some Resident Evil 6. Lots of other stuff. And, of course, your junk now.
And the most up-to-date things as well, like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
We got it all. So, obviously...
And the not up-to-date stuff.
So, obviously, it's been, 6 months? Something like that?
I think so.
We're a bi-yearly podcast at this point.
It's been a while. It's, I haven't really been playing games much, to be honest, and that's part of it.
I've been playing a lot, finishing very few.
Same here.
Yep. I guess, that's part of the problem is we have to find time to do the podcast, but also it feels like if we don't have something that we all played or something that we all really want to talk about immediately, it just kind of falls by the wayside. So, I don't know. We'll see what this year brings as far as Game Junk goes, but...
And this was a perfect opportunity to voice our opinions and be timely and relevant.
Right.
With the announcement of PlayStation 4 yesterday in a 2-hour epic press conference.
Let's jump into it. Did you guys watch
We could
live,
actually be the premier podcast with this coverage with the news of IGN today too. Breaking news. Did you guys hear about that?
I saw something. I didn't read any articles.
1UP, GameSpy, UGO, all closing down, and IGN had layoffs.
Game Junk.
Game Junk's all that's
Make
left.
it happen.
Imagine that.
We win by default.
Cutting edge PS4 podcasting coming at you.
Oh, actually, before we get to the PS4 stuff, did you want to mention anything about Citizens of Earth?
Sure, I could mention a little bit. I'm working on a side project called Citizens of Earth, and it's going to be a 2D RPG, probably coming out on Steam mainly, probably PC and Linux, possibly Mac, possibly iOS, and everyone should check it out. There's a Facebook page, facebook.com/Citizens of Earth game, and we have some previews up on PC Gamer and Rock Paper Shotgun, a few other sites, Destructoid. So check those out, and we're going to be going to GDC and having a demo there for everyone to look at. So hopefully you guys check it out.
So you're going to be at GDC?
I am going to be at GDC, yes.
So you're going to bring back all the scoops from that?
Scoops. Big ones. Although I don't know what I'll be doing.
Right.
Reading about, or going to lectures and stuff.
I think most people go there and just get hammered all night and
well, that's the night time.
Sleep through some lectures.
It could happen. I don't know. I've never been.
Snooze fest.
Could be. I don't know what's going to happen, so.
If that's actually what happens at GDC, I really want to go.
Well, I'll let you know. I'll be the reporter. Maybe I'll take some voice memos on my
I might just go and not go to the conference and
just
go party with you guys all night.
Sure. Crash our room.
Sounds like a good plan. So, PlayStation 4. We knew it was coming.
Awesome system design. Looks amazing.
So, okay, first of all, you guys, did you watch live? The whole thing?
I was counting down.
Yeah?
I watched it this morning, so about 12 hours after. On a replay.
So you didn't watch it live, Sean?
No.
Oh, my God.
I had a soccer game, actually, I was at, so yeah.
Soccer.
But I caught the last half hour live, and then I watched the rest today for the most part. And yeah, it was weird for me because I kind of caught the tail end, and the announcements that I was seeing at the end, I was thinking, wow, this is potentially big, but there always was something that would undercut it. Like, one of the last things they announced was Bungie bringing Destiny to
wasn't
PS4.
a surprise.
Not a surprise, but I was thinking if they could announce that it was going to be PS4 exclusive, that would be huge. Like Sony stealing Bungie away from Microsoft, but it didn't happen. And, other things like Blizzard Blizzard's going to announce a new game for the PS4. What's it going to be? Oh, Diablo 3.
And it's coming for PS3 too.
And there had been rumors of them porting Diablo 3 to consoles for a long time now.
Right.
When I saw the Blizzard logo, I thought it was either going to be World of Warcraft or
I actually
Diablo
laughed
3.
a bit during that reveal because they're like, "Oh, Blizzard, this will be pretty good," and then all of a sudden it's just like I hear the Diablo 3 music. I was like, "You gotta be kidding!" And then they don't even show any gameplay. It's just the logo for Diablo 3. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start at the beginning.
All right.
Okay, so
Let's.
first things first were the technical specifications.
Right.
An awesome clip art display.
PowerPoint.
You got your high capacity hard drive, your CPU, your GPU,
Your brain memory.
8 gigabytes dedicated memory, which developers will love. I mean, to me, that actually seems kind of low. Like you can get 4 gigs of RAM pretty like $25 these days.
Well, I think the kind of RAM
It's faster RAM. They did
is
say
more
that.
expensive RAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, DDR5, which is pretty damn quick.
Quack. Yeah. But
I think some people thought they were going to announce 4, though. So they actually at least met what the Xbox rumors have been. I think Xbox was rumored to have 8 gigs as well. So I'm almost wondering, like, not to just jump ahead here, but they didn't show the actual system. They said, we're still tweaking stuff. I almost feel like half the stuff they announced was just a reaction to the rumors of what they think Microsoft is going to do.
And they're probably also going to gauge Microsoft's reaction. And they're not, right now, they have those specs out there, but they could change them. They could easily change them. They didn't show the box or the final design, right? So they could see what Microsoft now does and then play off that
it's
and
such
change
a,
it.
like it's almost like Microsoft might have leaked the info about what they're thinking of doing just to influence Sony, and then when Sony announces what they're doing, they can react to that.
It's a conspiracy.
It's such a it's all positioning and.
well, here's the other minor observation I had. Just in general, the idea of having E3 for console launches. Why would you ever do that? This is obviously the way to go.
Yeah, big time.
You're not competing with anyone. It's not who won E3. You're all that people would be talking about for 2 days or longer.
Yeah.
And
well, even before, leading up to this, like the whole week before, people were like, PlayStation event in 5 days or whatever. Like there's like a countdown going on a lot of sites.
exactly, your exposure is going to be the highest it could ever be. You're competing with nothing. So why? I just think you'll see this for every system from now on. I'm surprised Nintendo used Wii U as a launch item at E3. I don't think you'll see that much more.
It's funny
anymore.
too because publishers have been doing this. Like Activision has not Activision. Rockstar has their own event. Ubisoft has their own event. So they've kind of already learned that. Why do I want to get lumped in with everyone else when I can just throw my own big event, show all my games off with no competition at all? Like they learned this a few years ago, and it's weird that the consoles haven't done this.
Well, there's been kind of an ebb and flow with E3 because there was a while there where it looked like E3 was completely dead, right? And now it's kind of come back, and it seems like it's pretty much what it always was. But yeah, like I think I think why Sony didn't show a ton of stuff yesterday is partially because they're saving some stuff for E3 because they know they have to. But yeah, I think everybody knows they can do their own announcements on their own, and that's fine.
Now, another thing that surprised me was game-wise, it was a lot of stuff I hadn't even heard of yet. That wasn't even on my radar, which is kind of impressive. They didn't just announce a new Uncharted game and a new God of War and all the things I was kind of expecting, but it was new ideas. Whether they're good or bad remains to be seen, but at least it was something new to talk about and at least interesting. I wasn't watching another Call of Duty video, which is what E3 is. And
right. Well, I mean, we've talked about how the launch of a new console, that's prime opportunity for new IPs, new franchises starting up, and hopefully that's what we'll see.
Now, the game everyone's talking about, obviously, Knack. Which just seems
system seller.
Well, it was interesting that was the very first one they showed, right?
It reeks of cameo elements of power to me.
I was just going to say, yeah.
And I love cameo elements of power, but that's all I could think of. And technologically, I'm sure the way the physics simulation works with the components of knack, it's somewhat impressive, but visually, I would not have led with that as a showpiece game.
I wonder if that was kind of a little nod to the tech guy.
Oh, for sure.
He was they said he was a system architect and he's directing that game, so they probably wanted to give him the nod, like, hey, you did good on the system design. Why don't you show your game off too?
That guy looks young. Like he made his first game in 1980.
Yeah,
he's got to be like 50 something years old. It's guys.
No, he might
guy's
be.
a freak of nature.
It depends though. Like if he's considering his first game, like people when they were 9 were screwing around on.
I don't think a 9-year-old made Marble Madness.
All right, fine.
It's too good.
Maybe 16 to 18, possibly.
Yeah.
But I actually thought he was really good, very articulate, and maybe a little too. I didn't feel like he was reading off cue cards or a teleprompter. He knew what he was talking about, and
when he stumbled, he got back right on.
It might have been slightly boring or manicured in a way, but I thought it was a decent way to open the show.
Yeah, I thought in general it felt kind of like a classy event. I mean, granted, there was not. Well, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of light show and craziness at the beginning and stuff, but for the most part, it was just kind of developers showing off their games, sort of blowing smoke at times, but...
Yeah, this could just be running on it. I'm assuming half of this is running on PC with PlayStation 4 specs or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the conference didn't blow me away by any means. I was just kind of, okay, that's that, and I really didn't learn too much.
Yeah.
I am not as crazy about this push to social media and this craze of you'll be able to share your screen caps and pick video. Who cares? Like, who looks at other people's videos? Who gives a shit?
Although for the some of that stuff though, I can see it being useful. Like for instance, for all the people that bitch and moan like me about like sports games, right? Or even just like competitive games. Like if you brought StarCraft or something, right? They're talking about being able to stream it directly using Gaikai, right? So right there, you as a developer don't have to do any of that. So if you want to try to create a game that's going to be sort of like esports like, you don't have to do anything for the PS3 or PS4, right? You just basically say, here's the game, and it does all the background video recording and sending it out for you, which is pretty good because then you don't have to worry about writing that for yourself. It just does it, puts it up wherever it's going to go. I mean, the only thing you don't have is you probably don't have control of where the video goes, which you may want.
Well, you can post it to your Facebook account like they did of the Killzone footage.
And one other aspect of that, a friend can help you out and virtually control your game. How embarrassing is that? Like this is a Dwy Guy feature through and through.
I might call on you one night, Frank, so be ready.
Like that to me is just, well, I probably shouldn't say anything because I didn't do it because I couldn't do it in terms of getting trophies or achievements and having people help me out. It was like, I needed 4 controllers. And, if we play some co-op games and I happen to get a few achievements along the way, what's the harm in that?
But it's almost like a live interactive Let's Play, right? Like Let's Play videos are pretty popular on YouTube.
This is the thing. I think that stuff could be a big deal for the younger generation. I don't know if we care as much.
Yeah, I certainly.
Well, I'm not going to sit around streaming my stuff and chatting with people on the internet, but
I would never watch a video on YouTube for Let's Play when I could just play something else.
What if you want a walkthrough of a game? You want to see how somebody did something. Somebody,
I'll look up that specific thing, or
I've watched.
Heaven forbid.
I've watched Let's Plays.
Read a guide. Well, that says a lot about you. I guess.
Oh, does it?
What about speedruns? Speedruns are also.
I don't understand that either.
Well, we have a junk mail about that, so we'll get to it.
Sorry, Andrew. No offense.
Oh, offense taken.
Okay.
You're going down. Wayner again.
So I just want to say, like, I generally I was kind of underwhelmed as well, but I think part of it is that some of the stuff leaked out online early. It just kind of was exactly what we knew, and there wasn't a ton of surprises. But
I'd always been saying the biggest thing you're going to notice with the next generation, and this, I was proven correct, effects is where the biggest difference is going to be. And that seems all the games have the way crazier effects. I would say modeling-wise, texture-wise, not that big a leap, but effects is where you're going to see the biggest change. And I think the change you're going to see that's the biggest, that might not be as apparent, but will make gaming way more fun, is not waiting for menus. And this idea of instantaneous menus and menus always being present and available at the push of a button. I think even especially for, we'll get into this with the Wii U, but system menus, like pushing the home button and stuff like that, it can be really long on PS3 and there can be delays. Even with the Xbox Guide, it's gotten better, but there were times when that was really slow too and delayed. I think
it sounds like they've pushed all that onto its own process.
Right, exactly. And so I love that push of instead of just giving all the power to the developer to say, you use whatever technology you want for whatever you want, right? It's up to you. If you want to use processing power for this or that, that's your call. I love that they're making certain channels for making sure menus are fast, system software is fast. That's the stuff that's the biggest annoyance.
About the experience now. They're really focusing on.
I'll talk about the Wii U. That is the worst thing about the Wii U. When you try to switch between like going back to the Wii U menu or going into the shop or just all these system features, the load times are horrendous. And
it's pretty bad on the 3DS too.
Yeah. There's no excuse for that as far as I'm concerned. And I'm glad that Sony is taking measures to make sure that all that is as fast and as transparent as possible.
Kind of on the same note, these weren't really like big points, but I found them like you were saying, like things that'll just improve the experience. It was like the suspend resume feature. How many times do you know you're going to play a game again? Like you play it, you have it in your system, you play for an hour, you shut it off. You know the next time you come back, you're going to play that game again. Being able to just basically hit on and start up right away, it's not a big thing, but it probably saves you 5 minutes, so it can add up. And then the other thing they talked about is the instant download and play. I think Steam does something like this already.
Oh, yeah. And I know Games for Windows did that starting with Halo 2.
So, I mean, it's not a big thing, but it's a nice thing again.
Here's my this is what worries me about that. They still haven't announced whether there will be discs or any of that stuff. I think that's one thing they're really waiting to react.
They did gloss over a lot of
Microsoft and this
key things like that.
Push of digital content over game discs. I really think they aren't sure what they're going to do yet. They're waiting to see what Microsoft does. And I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft has an online-only system that you can't buy used games or resell games in some capacity. I think PlayStation would be very smart to do the opposite and allow that. Because for some reason, I don't have a problem with it personally, but gamers out there, they just freak out about not having used games. And
I kind of have a problem with it. I mean, I go to the library to get a lot of games, right? My library. Yeah,
I guess.
I said it.
Well, they asked them about this. They didn't say it in the press conference, but they asked them afterwards, will you be able to play used games on the PS4? And they said yes. And they did make reference to playing on discs, like disc-based retail games, but it's all very vague. And I think you're right. They probably aren't sure to what extent, maybe they will allow both still, but with the assumption that probably digital is going to take over in a year or two. And
they may even go with more subscription streaming stuff as well.
Yeah. I thought I saw a report today saying that it won't support playing PS3 discs, which isn't super surprising.
I saw that as well.
But then it also said that your PS3 digital purchases won't carry over either, which I found a little more surprising, only because they seem to be going to this unified PlayStation store. So I would have thought that they would have tried to encourage people to have that be not only cross Vita and PS4, but also across PS3 as well.
That is actually kind of concerning.
Yeah, I kind of expected it to be mainly just like a PSN account, not necessarily like, here's your PS3 purchases and then here's your PS4 purchases, and if you want to play that PS3 purchase on your PS4, you got to buy it again. I didn't really think it would be like that.
So are you guys talking about the streaming via Gaikai PS1, 2, and 3 games?
No, I think he's just talking about like games you've purchased on the PSN.
Yeah, so I bought like Resident Evil 5, right, on the PSN. Now, if I were to buy a PS4 and sign in with my exact same PSN account, I would have to repurchase Resident Evil.
I don't think that's it. I don't think it's compatible.
It could not be. It could not be. It's too bad it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish it was.
But in that case, if they can't make downloadable stuff compatible and disc stuff.
It seems strange because they're technically doing it right now on the PS3 for PlayStation 2 and 1 games. You'd figure that with the rise of like PlayStation Plus and a lot of those, it seems like a lot of people are downloading games right now through PlayStation Plus that have it, at least the people I know. You'd figure they would start incorporating that sort of style into their PS4 design, but maybe not.
It might come out later too, and even with the Vita, PS1 Classics didn't work at first, and they added it later, and there's always room for
That's
that
a good
kind
thing.
of
It's
stuff
all
with
software, right?
Firmware, yeah.
Firmware.
Well, okay, so how do you guys feel about this? Because I know this is always a big debate when a new console is announced. People, if they don't announce backwards compatibility, people freak out. They're like, I want to play my old PS3 games on my new system. What the hell? And then sometimes they do support it, but then they'll release like your second generation version of that console and they'll drop it altogether because nobody's playing this stuff. Nobody really cares. It's just initially people are kind of like scared to make the jump because they're like, I still want to play my old games. I don't know if backwards compatibility matters that much, but I do agree this whole idea of now being able to stream PS1, PS2, and PS3 games via Gaikai, it's cool, but it's annoying that if I already bought those games, I have to rebuy them. I mean, this is getting into
I don't know if
Nintendo
they explicitly said it was through Gaikai that they'd be doing that.
I thought they did.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did they? You'd be streaming them?
That was the main thing they were talking about with Gaikai, I think, because I don't know the remote play on the Vita. Has nothing to do with Gaikai, does it?
No.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main reason that they had.
I think they said it uses Gaikai technology, but I don't think it like sends it out somewhere in the cloud and then brings it back.
Right. So yeah, I guess that was obviously one of the bigger things that they announced. I do feel like, in general, the fact that they were focusing on all these little, like you were saying, Huck, like the nice to have things. Yeah. The fact that these are the big things they're touting on their initial announcement of the PS4 is a little bit worrisome because it makes me think, is this all a next-gen console has to offer?
Well, and they really just said, we want to do this. We're hoping this enables us to do this in the future. Nothing is for sure, really, at all, except for the controller and the share button.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the controller because that was the one piece of hardware they actually did show. It had leaked. Photos had leaked out online a week or two before, and they were pretty much accurate. So we've got DualShock controller with a touchpad in the middle, which, I mean, yeah, there's a share button and there's
the light bar.
The light bar.
Headphone jack, don't forget.
Now, I'm not, I mean, first of all, they showed lots of games. They didn't show any games using any of these new features. The touch thing, I think the Unreal demo, they were using it. Just
I don't know. They did show the share button.
Okay, they showed the share button. But, I don't know. Okay, first of all, touchpad on your home console game controller. Good idea. Pointless. What do you guys think?
I'm sure it'll come in handy somewhere.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a big driving factor to anything, but I'm sure people will use it.
Yeah, I guess it's useful in terms of, again, trying to say, hey, we can do a lot of what the Wii U does, you know, like just being able to say every other console that's out there on the market, we've got that feature on ours.
I think a potential would be, if I think of a game like Okami, right? You have to hit the L1 button or R1 and then draw with the right stick, right? If it was, you could just touch it and it like when you press that trigger, it pauses the game and allows you to draw, right? So by doing that, I could just touch it, which would automatically enable the pause mode and draw much more naturally than with a stick.
That would be awesome for that game specifically.
Exactly, but I think they'll find more reasons for stuff like that, and I don't know. It's fine. Add something. I mean, my biggest thing, initial impressions, it's a little gaudy, a little bit of an eyesore. I mean, when that got leaked, I thought, oh, that's just their prototype. But, wouldn't take that out for dinner. But
well, I'm curious too if you'll be able to use the Vita as a controller and use the touchpad on the Vita.
You can.
We're just hoping these Vita purchases continue to be justified.
No, I'm just thinking the touchpad on the DualShock looks kind of small. Like you're talking about being able to draw and stuff. I don't know. That's a pretty small little area to be drawing. It looks smaller than an iPhone.
I'm not fucking painting the Mona Lisa here. I'm drawing a circle.
Well, if they did want to put out like a draw something kind of game or something, I don't know.
That's where you use the move wand.
Yeah,
or sculpt stuff.
So what's the deal with the light ray, whatever the hell it is?
It's just a Wii controller. It's like
is that all it is?
Yeah, and then I think instead of like on the top, you know how right now the one light will light up or the two light will light up depending on what controller port you are. I think it's basically going to be
a color.
Like the Move, how it's like orange or red or green or whatever. I don't know whatever one matches.
And I think there'll be games that take advantage with the camera of who's sitting where next to each other, and party games that could take advantage of that.
They're starting to integrate some of the Kinect type technology as well.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I think they said the camera can follow you around, right? So, or maybe it just follows the light bar. I guess it follows the light bar.
So, I mean, I guess they had the iToy or whatever, but making this a part of the console, guarantees that people will use the features a little bit more. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. So what else was announced in terms of features?
I mean, they showed the new, what appeared to be the cross-media bar, right? Which was, it actually looked a bit like Windows 8.
Was that the PlayStation Store? I thought that was the PlayStation Store.
No, that was the new... I thought that when they said it, this is the new look, like we've reconfigured for your kind of home screen.
Maybe.
Because it had your name, it had the games you were playing, and it had your messages in the corner and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know, it looked okay. My initial impressions for that was, this looks like Windows 8. It didn't look Sony to me.
I thought it was the PlayStation Store, actually.
No.
So, yeah, you guys were talking about the being able to play something as you download it. I'm not entirely clear on... It sounded to me like all they were saying is we're going to download games ahead of time that we think you're going to play, and that's how you're going to be able to play as you
I hope I can turn off that feature.
Yeah, I know. That sounds pretty annoying to me.
It's stupid.
I thought they said that if you wanted to play, like, I don't know, a game like Guacamelee, you could just start it going. It would download, like, the bare minimum, and then you could start playing it, and then in the background it would download the rest while you're playing the first couple levels.
So is it just that they're forcing developers to package the game in a way that there's sort of a demo? Okay. I don't know. I mean, they make it sound like it's some big feature, but
it's been on PC games for a while. Yeah. It's nothing new.
Now, what about... they announced there's going to be a PlayStation Network app, which is basically like the Xbox Smart Glass thing. So you can have like a second screen experience type thing on your iPad or iPhone or smartphone, whatever you have. Does anyone care? Probably not.
I don't know. I guess the only thing that might be handy for that is to browse the PlayStation Store and buy games when you're not near your console.
Yeah,
on the go.
Okay, so should we talk about some of the other games they showed off?
I think let's do it.
So
first game,
Killzone.
Knack?
Knack, bud.
Oh, Knack. Sorry, I thought we touched on Knack already.
Knack. What do you think, Sean?
I actually like Knack. Maybe it's just because it was something kind of original and new. I don't know. I could see myself get into it. I like the look of the cartoony characters.
Oh, I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it one bit.
I thought it looked good. My problem with it is I felt like it was a trailer for a Pixar movie more than a trailer for a game.
Well,
I didn't see... There was like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay that I could identify as gameplay.
Let's say a trailer for a DreamWorks animation studio movie because the art quality is not that high, and artistically it looks like something from the Xbox era video games to me.
Oh, ouch!
I don't know if I agree with that. I
don't
think
agree with that at all.
Like, because we've seen sort of 3D cel-shaded cartoony platformers before, but something about this one looked a lot more.
The character of Knack, just the design of that character.
Yeah,
I would say is a step down from Voodoo Vince for Xbox. Like it's or Blinks, take your pick.
I don't know. He's got a lot more parts flying around. So.
That's it. But the actual look of the character is lame. Come on.
I don't know. I'm not necessarily talking about the design of the characters. I just like the look overall of the style of it, I guess. I was very unimpressed with that aspect. I like a good platformer action game. Cartoony. You give it a
It's
shot.
not a lost cause. I buy everything. Let's face it.
Right.
But
if there's an animal in it, he's hooked.
But yeah, not blowing me away.
All right.
And then the demonstration of playing it on Vita, because he just runs down a hallway and opens a gate. Like, give me a fucking break. This is the next generation.
So we didn't really talk too much about the remote play thing. Is this something that's cool? Like,
yeah.
Again, to me, it seems like trying to reproduce Wii U functionality a bit.
Well, that's one of the reasons I bought my PSP, so I could do that with PlayStation 1 games. I don't know if you guys remember that the PSP can do that, but you can put a PS1 game in your PS3 and then stream it to your PSP. And I would do that occasionally, but it wasn't very good. It wasn't very fast.
Well, the difference with this, hopefully, if it's fast enough, the Wii U range is about 20 feet. I mean, if I'm in my bed playing, I have to lean to the right side of my bed. If I go this way, I lose my connection. So
wow.
It's not that powerful. And with this, I could play my PS3 at your house, right? It's just over the internet. That's a big difference.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So, but have you tried it? Because I know there's some games that have remote play on the Vita right now.
No. I still remember when there was a hack or some weird glitch where when Lair, do you remember the game Lair came out?
Yes.
The guys who did Rogue Squadron.
Factor 5, I think,
Yeah.
or Level 5.
And it was the Dragon 6-axis game that you could only use 6-axis with.
You'll remember it if you saw it. I think it was a launch title, or close to that.
That worked via remote play for a short period of time before they fixed it. And I think one of the Batman games did too.
Well,
people have other ways, like you can make it happen other ways.
If you have a dev kit, I think you can do it.
I got 5. Yeah, I don't know. It's nice to have. It just seems like another one of these. Check it off. Make sure you have it for your next system.
For sure.
Nothing revolutionary.
Right. And which, I mean, that seems to be what's going on here is that for us, we'll probably be into it, but, I mean, getting the general public interested in, they already have their PS3 or their Xbox, and they've got lots of games they like. I don't know, like some of these games, like you said, they are also coming out for the PS3, like Destiny. Why am I going to buy a PS4 if I'm general Joe public?
I don't know. I think there's going to be a slow purchase rate on all next-gen consoles. I mean, you're seeing it with the Wii U. I mean, I don't know if that's really considered to the par with this, but I don't know. I think the main advantage of a PS4 right now is the games will run on it, whereas with a PC, it might not. You might have to do some maintenance on your PC. So I think eventually people will buy the new consoles. I don't think people will be rushing out to buy them, though.
Yeah.
It'll take one exclusive game or a Call of Duty that is just on next-gen systems.
Killzone.
Killzone looked pretty good. There's a lot of smoke.
I really like the look of the city, and I thought like the reflective buildings and the vistas, the waterfalls were really captivating. Action-wise,
it looked like Killzone 3.
Yeah, it didn't blow me away, but I would say the most awkward thing about that demo was when they transitioned to the next game, Drive Club. The logo for Drive Club is very similar to the logo for Killzone. and the company that makes Killzone. I was very
Guerrilla.
confused if it was the same company or not. A bit of a faux pas.
Yeah, I was confused as well.
Were you? Honestly?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was like, is this the same game? Who's this guy up here talking?
Get your shit together. And put a game in between those two.
Maybe just have a better intro. I don't know.
So do you guys think Drive Club is Sony giving the big fuck you to Gran Turismo?
Well,
why? What happened exactly? Is it
Nothing. They didn't show Gran Turismo. They showed Drive Club. That's what I mean.
yeah, to me, the only thing that has me way more excited for Drive Club than Gran Turismo is it seemed like the menus pop up very quickly. The menu system for Gran Turismo is the worst
Yeah, it was
menus
bad.
of all time. Of all time.
I mean, I don't play realistic racing games, but I found the whole demo pretty hilarious. Actually, like he was just jizzing over cars. Like,
I think the worst thing is that he emphasized like play as a team, but you never really got a feel what that means from the demo.
yeah, that's true. They talked about how it's
like-
this amazing concept, but what
You
is
just-
the concept?
You circle jerk on the fucking Lamborghini, and
Yeah, you get in it and you feel it.
depending on which way the fabric direction is, it'll
The lighting of the seat,
it'll stain differently.
the reflection of the leather interior changes depending on if you've washed it recently or not, or something like.
The only thing I think I saw was they pulled up a map of the world and it had like two friends in one spot, but you don't really know what that means. That could just be like a social thing, like Foursquare for cars or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a car guy,
agreed.
but it looks pretty good. I'll buy it. It could be interesting to. I might get more into driving games if I had friends that wanted to play it and people who I knew that were good at racing. I suck at racing games, but I always start playing them and I'm like, I'm never going to be good at this game.
Yeah,
I just don't get driving.
too much investment
Yeah.
required. So,
Are we on to the goof from fucking Sucker Punch yet?
Infamous.
yep, I think we are.
Oh,
Here we go.
Can I just say
Frank's Love Child?
that intro? I totally thought it was going to be Watch Dogs, but then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
this
so did
isn't
I,
Ubisoft.
actually.
It's such a weird, like, why would they do an intro
Political
about
statement.
that?
Massive political statement.
It's so strange.
it was so lame. It was one of the most pathetic things I've ever
like
seen.
I was kind of interested when he was doing that whole intro, and then as soon as he's like, "Now imagine we have superheroes," and I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Yeah, and then
It seems so goofy.
I don't know to you guys, but I felt like that whole thing was one big giant like CG movie.
It didn't even look that good, to be honest,
No.
except when they showed the main character's face.
Really? I thought that
actually-
didn't even look.
I thought that looked pretty good. But
I
yeah.
thought the back of the chick with the red hair looked better.
Oh.
Fact.
Interesting.
It's I don't know. I like Infamous. I'm excited for the game, but was not blowing me away.
I mean, it's interesting that and Killzone are the two big sort of first party titles that they're showing off.
I think it's just because all the other major franchises just had games come out or have something coming out in the next 4 months.
Oh,
so
they will have whatever Naughty Dog's doing at E3. Guaranteed.
So what's going on? Because they have two teams,
Yeah.
and one's doing
Last
The
of
Last of Us. So we don't know what the Uncharted 3 team is doing. Is that
I
right?
bet you I know.
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4.
Wow, yeah, and that's the thing. I was a little surprised they didn't.
starring instead of Drake,
Ellie.
Elena.
Elena.
Oh, swooning.
So, do you think it was bad that they didn't show a new Uncharted game? Like, obviously, they launched
No.
the Vita with an Uncharted game, and I think that, well, it worked for me. It got me interested, but
I don't think it's that big a deal. It'll be coming. I think we know.
I think everyone
What's-
knows it's
what's
coming,
coming.
so they didn't need to show it. Same with God of War.
Yeah.
all right, what's next?
Was it the Quantic
Witness.
Dream? Oh.
The Witness was first.
Oh, how could I forget?
Jonathan Blow.
Johnny Blow.
Very interesting hair pattern. But regardless, I was loving everything coming out of this guy's mouth, as I said on Twitter. Just this idea of not extending games with bullshit driving and walking across 2 kilometers to get to your next goal. I hate that shit. And it is bloating just to say our game is 60 hours long. It's not fun. I don't care. So to hear that, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest game ever. And what do I get?
Missed.
He got it.
You have to admit, he seemed like a bit of a dick when he came out and he was like, I'll have to see if I can follow all those explosions or something like that.
Have you not watched any interviews with Jonathan Blow before?
No.
Aware,
I think he was talking about, he said, how do I follow up after something like that? Something so powerful. Or,
man, if you,
in regards to the sucker punch, like the framing of this political statement.
I don't think he said that.
Oh yeah, or it was either the guy who introduced him.
I don't know. If you took a drink every time someone said, "How do I follow up that?" you'd be hammered.
That's a good point. I will admit though, I think The Witness is one of the, out of everything that was shown, probably the one I'm most excited about. Even though I don't really know what the hell it is.
I'm excited for it. I like puzzle games, and I mean, it was easy for him to say this game is about. Was it Eureka? What's the word he used?
Yeah, like the
Epiphany.
Yeah.
And that's easy to say. To say you're the best at creating this epiphany moment. Bold.
Very.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if he can follow it up, but
if it does deliver on that, whew, pretty impressive stuff.
But I do think it's a big deal that Sony was able to get him on board to do this for the PS4 and to actually be at this press conference, because he is kind of a guy that,
although it's like a timed release, did you catch that? They're like,
no.
It'll be exclusive at the time of the PS4 launch. So essentially it could be like a week after release on everything else, or it could be like 6 months. But it's not going to be exclusive. My
biggest disappointment is half of the puzzles look like it's just drawing those stupid squares and lines.
That did look like the only thing you did. Oh, you went left instead of right. Sorry.
Ooh, I can't wait to unlock the secrets of these square lines. Eureka!
All right, so Quantic Studios.
Yeah.
This was by far the most impressive thing that I saw.
I'll disagree.
Well, I admit it's just one head. But it looked amazing. It was the best looking head I've ever seen.
But NVIDIA's been doing that exact same thing like 3 years ago when DirectX 11 came out. They had the exact same video with that fairy girl. Have you guys seen that?
No,
I want to.
It has like ambient occlusion lighting and everything, like, or however you say it, lighting under her skin, the stuff that like shows off the skin glow.
Oh, I'm not saying
doing all that stuff years ago, and they showed one head floating in a room.
That's the thing. Let's see it in a game.
The difference is it's running on the console.
PS3 could probably do that right now. One head floating in a room.
I don't think so, Huck.
Dwyer's nodding. I agree with Dwyer.
I'm with Huck in the sense that I like, you're using all the system resources potentially to draw one head.
You expand that to 40 heads, then I'd be impressed. And all doing different things and all looking different. Then I would be impressed.
Or just show it in a cutscene or in a game.
Well, to be fair, the next things we're going to talk about, the Square Enix and the Capcom one, they looked pretty close to that, the models, I would say, and everything else was there too.
I guess. I don't know. Those, I took nothing away from those just because I can't tell. Like, they're obviously not gameplay. They're just...
I think there
was slices of gameplay.
Really?
Like when he was walking down the hall with the torch and stuff like that in the Capcom one.
Well, and when he was behind the cover, they could have just obviously faked this too, but they showed weapon selection menus on there.
And I think there was one when he was walking as the dragon burst in. That kind of looked like gameplay also, but...
If that is gameplay, that looks amazing. I'm on board for that game.
But do you remember when Killzone 2 was shown off?
I do. I remember that.
And there's that.
I didn't say. I said if it is the gameplay.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's the same thing again. Like I can't help but be a little bit suspicious of stuff like this.
My biggest fear is, sure, looks awesome. How are you going to be able to sustain this for a 20-hour game visually? It would take so much work from artists to create assets this high quality all the time.
With all the detail.
And environments, the biggest thing yet is the density of the environments. To maintain that is going to be very tough.
I was thinking that during the Killzone demo. I was like, this is going to require like 500 people to make this
it would be interesting to know how long it took them to make that demo. Because it was quite detailed. Quite detailed.
Yeah. So,
did you guys catch the Street Fighter tease at the end of the Capcom?
No,
thing?
well, the Blanca?
Yeah, isn't that a Street Fighter guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a Capcom nod kind of thing.
just a little fanboy.
We didn't mention the Epic 4 demo.
4?
Was it
What was
worth
that?
mentioning?
No, obviously. But I think it was the same one they showed at E3 or shortly
it?
after E3. Yeah. Very similar.
The guy with the flaming axe or whatever the hell it was?
Again, it's mostly effects.
Oh, so we didn't talk about the media molecule thing.
Well, I don't think we've gotten there quite yet.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
It was a party.
A new artist tool. I don't know. I
skipped.
skipped that whole, like, these guys did it in one take thing. I skipped that whole thing. I don't know what that was.
Like, I was watching it, as I was working, and I kind of kept looking over, and then all of a sudden they have like people like controlling band members
Almost
on
like
stage.
marionettes.
It was Wii music.
Yeah, and then it's over, and I was like, "Is that even a game?" Like, what?
And it seemed
what was
long, too. Just seemed long.
Oh, yeah.
Else.
It was brutal.
Like, that guy was
really
up there
weird.
talking about sculpting for a good 5 minutes, and then they showed
I thought the
that video.
sculpting thing was kind of cool.
What are you going to do with
but-
that, though?
Yeah,
I don't know,
media,
draw big cocks everywhere.
like media
And
molecule.
stream it over the internet.
Said it might create my dreams.
Media molecule seems like a cool place to work. Seems like they got lots of creative people there. Can't wait to see what game they come up with next. I just don't know what the hell that was that they showed.
Yeah.
Like, is it a game? Or is it just showing off the capabilities of...
Or are they showing off their tools or something? Like, I don't know.
It was weird.
And all
me-
that was in fast forward, so how long does it actually take?
To me, it seemed as a building block to another Little Big Planet, where I saw the sculpting as being a cooler way to model things for games rather than just using cutouts of blocks and stuff like that. And I also saw it as I saw the motion controller stuff potentially as a way to animate cutscenes and stuff like that. If you for something like Little Big Planet, if you wanted to control,
Yeah, either though it looks like a tool. It looks like a tool to some in-game editor or something like that. It
I think
doesn't
it's
look like a game.
Yeah, I think it's like they said, the next step of creating on a next gen console.
Right.
And I think that combined with touchpads and stuff like that, if they expanded Little Big Planet, I think you'd see a lot more stuff. And I think the other idea would be people doing sculptures and sharing them and creating a universe of building blocks to make a game from.
That is kind of what they lean to in that one part where he said, I'm not that good at sculpting, but I can take what other people do and make a world with it.
Sure.
I think that's exactly what he was leaning to. Now, adding animation to that stuff, that's a whole nother thing. Creating a static world would be fine, but how would you make it dynamic? And I guess in the world of Little Big Planet, you don't really need it necessarily, but...
Well, I think that's what the move stuff. You would attach something that says a component, this is a movable item, and then you'd kind of
Bob it up and
record
down.
the animation with the stick. Obviously, there would be some interpretation on their side as to how certain legs and how other things would move. But, I mean, they're not giving you the ability to make a AAA game. It's just something to add.
Could be interesting, I guess.
Moving on.
Cock sculptures.
Watch Dogs, is that where we're at?
Or the Square Enix stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, we talked about that.
Did we?
I don't know. I did.
I'm sure the world is a buzzing.
After that Final Fantasy now?
Oh, it's coming. They're making Final Fantasy.
Big surprise. Just so you guys didn't know, we're going to make 15. You thought we were done after 14, but we're going to make 15.
Next time you make an announcement, why don't you get somebody who can speak some English?
Oh, my goodness.
Fuck.
We went there.
Ouch.
I don't think any of that was gameplay either, and I have no idea what that game was that they showed.
Nope.
Didn't really make sense.
Watch Dogs. That's all I want to talk about.
I mean, I still thought it was pretty impressive. To me, the gameplay ideas are pretty cool. Bringing up those barriers to smash cars and all that stuff hasn't been done in a game that I'm aware of. So there's some cool new gameplay ideas, and that's what has me the most excited. I think it'll be a challenge to design that, to know what you can use and what you can't. And I mean, in a demo, it looks really cool because they know exactly what to pick and where to go. But how many versions of those types of gameplay can you introduce? There can't be that many.
Yeah.
I was kind of with Dwyer. I was kind of watching it at work out of the corner of my eye, so I didn't catch too much of it. But I thought the original demo that they showed was actually more impressive than this one from what I saw. I mean, I've been playing Sleeping Dogs lately, and that game actually seemed to have a lot of similar gameplay styles to Watch Dogs.
I thought it looked pretty cool. I like the art design, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems interesting.
I like the game. I'm very interested in it. I just don't like. It's coming out also for PS3. So is it selling me on PS4?
I don't think it is.
Are you
that
sure?
Announced? I thought they said next gen consoles.
I'm pretty sure that's a next gen game.
Oh, maybe. I thought for sure they said PS3.
He's gonna go check.
Let me Google that.
Next, Diablo 3. I guess we already talked about that. Eh?
Yeah, not very impressive.
And Destiny.
In the back of my head, I thought maybe they're going to announce StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah, or the next StarCraft 2 expansion or something. I found it weird that they ended the show with Blizzard and Destiny and didn't really say too much about it, especially since, I mean, Diablo 3 is not really a big announcement. And Destiny just had a press conference like 3 or 4 days ago before
announced
this.
It, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the press coverage was already pretty high on Destiny, and then they ended the show with it. I found it kind of a weird choice. Like they didn't really go out with a bang, you know?
Yeah, I was expecting a major announcement to end the show.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought
and that's why I
announcement.
thought for sure they're going to be like, it's exclusive or something to PS4, but nope. They're going to have some exclusive content.
Activision wouldn't let that go exclusive.
Yeah. Well, nobody will. Nobody's going to take the chance on one of the next consoles because what if that one fails? Like, it's just too much of a risk right now.
I was just glad there was no Skylanders or like just
Hey now. Hey.
no, it's just or Lego City, just these kid franchises that
They did very much target hardcore gamers.
Well, that looks almost like what the Knack is, or Knack Game, or whatever it's called. That would be more kiddie.
Yeah. So it says here, Watch Dogs will be out on PC, PS3, 360, and Wii U, but first it'll be out on PS4.
That's weird.
That's the Kotaku post.
we'll see. I'm predicting only next
I'm
gen.
pretty sure they did mention Wii U at the press conference. Maybe not PS3, but I'm pretty sure they said, "Oh, and it'll also be on Wii U."
At the Sony press conference, they said it would be on Wii U.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure that did not happen.
I'm remembering somebody saying that they were surprised that they managed to sneak that in somehow.
I don't recall that happening, but
Anyway,
could have happened.
my point is, again, am I going to buy a PS4 for Watch Dogs? Maybe not.
Are you going to buy PS4?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I know you guys are kind of leaning more towards the Sony side of the fence. I still think Microsoft is Sony's playing catch up to Microsoft right now. Like, Microsoft has more installed consoles than Sony
I don't think
does.
that's true.
How many Xbox
PS3
have you bought, Dwight?
One.
Yeah, that's true too. I bought.
How many have you had repaired?
4.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, get out.
That's going into the figures too. Good point. I have bought 2 PS3s, by the way.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
Now, another thing is, I could have swore in December they announced worldwide PS3 had more consoles than
Yeah, I think
Microsoft.
it just passed them.
Yeah.
And it's been out for one less year.
I don't think so. I was looking at the numbers today, and they said, from what I saw, I think it was in January, so just last month, that Microsoft still has still has more sold. Maybe not actually
Active users
currently using it. Yeah, I don't know.
I will say this. My favorite thing about the Xbox, and it has it up on Sony for sure, is the controller.
Yeah.
It's the best controller ever made.
But I will admit that I was much more into Microsoft, a couple years ago because I felt like they had more interesting indie titles coming out, and I thought
they've dropped all that.
The Xbox Live thing was way better than PSN initially.
I felt like
think
Xbox started following Nintendo on the whole like Connect thing, and then they started going social, pure social, but not games, like social media.
Bing.
And like when they stopped going to games, I totally dropped off. I mean, I bought Mark of the Ninja, and I think I bought one other indie title on Fez, yeah. I bought Fez. I think those were the last 2 games I bought on
Me too.
Xbox, and I haven't even I think maybe the last game I turned on my Xbox was College Hoops 2K8 last March when it was March Madness.
I really am not a fan of the Xbox dashboard anymore. It's just so...
I don't even know where my games are.
Yeah, it's
I see Netflix. I see buy movies, buy this,
advertisements.
Buy that. Yeah. Well, I don't know where anything is.
Here's the thing that's really winning me over to Sony's side, PlayStation Plus. I mean, you've got free games coming every couple of weeks.
See, Vanquish is on now?
Yeah. I already have it, but but I mean, like that keeps you coming back, right? And like
Big time.
It's a nice little reminder, like, oh, hey,
apparently it's doing really well for them too. I don't know how it could, because I mean, literally, you could probably just pay for PlayStation Plus and be happy with all the games they give you right now, anyways.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
I have to like delete games to make room for the new games because there's just too many now. I mean, I don't have a super big hard drive on my PS3, but
time to upgrade, bud.
I'll wait for the PS4. I'll just delete stuff and re-download it.
So, but I was thinking about, like, I guess it seems like Microsoft is potentially in a position of power because they're going to announce second and they can now react to whatever Sony announced. But, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily
I might think it might be too late to react.
It could be. I mean,
Sony announced they're releasing this November, right? So that's only, 8 months away? 9 months away, maybe? That's not very much time if Microsoft is really far off from any of the like software stuff that Sony has.
They're not.
I'm sure it's all the same. I'm sure they all have people in the same camps, and they probably have spies in each other's companies and shit.
Yeah, well, that's definitely probably the case.
It's like espionage.
But I think, I was thinking about exclusive titles, who's got, the better games.
It's not even close.
No, it's not even close.
Well,
it's obviously Nintendo.
I would agree. But out of those two, PlayStation, by far.
I am coming around to this now.
Other than Gears, what does Microsoft have?
Halo,
Gears of War, and Call of Duty.
Other than shooters,
Call of
Duty is not exclusive.
It's on PS3 as well?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Wake up.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was still exclusive to Microsoft. But yeah, I mean, they've just got shooters, whereas PlayStation has a lot of, they've got the Uncharted, they've got the God of War, they've got Little Big Planet, like tons of stuff.
And I think it's funny what brought you to Microsoft was like the summer indie arcade. And now Sony has gone and created this like indie pub fund that is creating so many good quality indie titles.
Definitely.
That I don't know. I know that's one of the main reasons I am on PSN more than Xbox.
But I guess the thing too with the Xbox 360, they made a point of setting it up in a way that it'd be easy to port PC games to the Xbox 360, and that's why they got a lot of the shooters on that console. But from what I understand, for the PS4, they're trying to go back in that direction now for developers to make it easier to port games to the PS4 from a PC.
Right, but I think a lot of people do that anyways. So I think by just making it easier to get it to PS3, most people are going to want to put it on all platforms they can, right? So if it's easier to put it on PS3, it's just easier. I mean, there's no downfall. It's only upside.
But the PS3, correct me if I'm wrong, it was definitely considered much harder to develop for, at least to get to get the full power out of it. And I think they realized that was a problem, and they've come back around on that.
There's still lots of issues with it. Like, saving always takes longer. on a PS3.
Right.
It's kind of an annoyance, so...
Yeah.
Rage is the worst on PS3. Fuck.
Shh. Quiet you. I'm going to buy that DLC. See, it went down to $2.
No.
Gonna get it. Rage.
So the other thing, though, they didn't announce a price. And price killed the PS3 initially, I think.
thought there was a rumor of the price, though. Like 400 and 450 or something like that. Or 400 and 500 or something like that.
There's a few rumors in that range.
I would say that makes sense that would be the target they want to hit, because PS3 launched at 600 US.
Yeah.
Or was it 700?
Might have been. I think it was 800 in Canada. I don't remember.
No, I bought one. I think it was 600.
Okay. Still, I mean, that's...
I hope it's $1,000. Fuck it. Separate the men from the boys.
So why don't we talk briefly about what we've heard about the next Xbox? Because there's obviously lots of rumors out there. I mean, the main thing I've heard is that the Kinect, they're pushing this more. There's a new version of the Kinect. It's way more advanced, and it's built into every system.
Microsoft wants those kids, man. They want Happy Action Theater version 2 to rule the world.
Happy Action Theater is kind of fun.
I'm sure it is, but you can't... That's not your base. You can't have, like, Call of Duty people playing Happy Action Theater.
Kinect will never be the norm for anything if they don't improve the response time. There's specs out there that got leaked yesterday, I think, that say it's twice as fast. I don't think twice as fast is even fast enough. Like, it is never going to feel that accurate. I just don't see it being a viable gameplay mechanism until that's sorted out.
It'll be interesting to see how many current Kinect titles, like I think it was Steel Battalion, have like a Steel Battalion version 2, because that's like more what they originally envisioned it being.
It's like it's almost
like an
Wii
HD
Motion
remake.
Plus.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh, here's full articulation, kind of what everyone expected it to be in the first place.
Right, yeah. But I guess I think it's smart on their part to at least make it, it comes with every console, as well as apparently they're saying like a 500 gig hard drive. So you're not going to have this weird separation where some people bought the light edition of the new Xbox and they can't store stuff on their hard drive, or they don't have the Kinect. I mean, I'm interested in the Kinect. I never bought one because there was never a game that really got me interested in it. But if I have it anyway, maybe I'll check some stuff out. I don't know.
Baller Beats isn't pushing you?
I'd be interested, but...
the Kinect, I don't care. I don't think anyone really cares. No one even plays it anymore. I think they're going to find that out. Well, tons of people bought it and never use it. And people are going to be like, I never use this thing to begin with.
It's like the Wii.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it seems like everybody's going away from this motion control stuff now. Like, even Nintendo with the Wii U, I mean, the selling point really is just that controller with the big screen and being able to have that portable. But, yeah, like, I just don't know if they're banking on the Kinect as, like, their next-gen thing. I don't know. That seems like it's maybe
Sounds like they don't understand their market if they do that.
The one intriguing thing, it's not even necessarily part of the next Xbox, was the room projection technology. Did you see that? Where
no.
It looks like a Kinect, but it's got like projection lamps and it simulates past the screen and projects it on your walls.
I didn't see that either.
You've never seen this?
No.
Oh my god, it's amazing. You need to check it out. It was like a technology at CES, I believe.
Oh, that was just last week too, wasn't it? Or 2 weeks ago?
No, it was in January, I think.
Oh.
So what, this is something that
like it extends the screen to be around your room. The screen is still your focus point, but it would project the rest of the environment on the walls.
Oh, so more like surround sound visuals? Or
Yeah,
like
well, it's
surround
like,
visuals?
Well, it's like the holodeck almost. I mean, you'd have to have a room in your house painted white.
You'd have to strap together about 3 Xboxes too to get it to look right.
What do you mean?
Well, just the processing power to render.
I don't think so. They already have the scene rendered. I think it's...
No, they don't. They call it out.
It'd be... What?
You're talking about like the sides that
No,
aren't
but
on screen?
I'm saying it'd be 4 more camera perspectives.
Yeah.
No.
4 times the processing.
Yeah, I think it's doable.
Okay.
But what
Low
did
res.
you see this being demonstrated on? Like on an Xbox?
I don't know. Look it up, bud. Look, Xbox room projection.
Xbox holodeck.
All right. I don't know. I agree with Huck that it seems like, that would just, triple your required.
Well, if things go to a 4K resolution, if you stayed at the current.
But is this just for movies or is this for games?
For games. It would be amazing.
All right.
I mean, we kind of have something similar now in. I admit it's lower resolution, but 4-player split screen. It's not that far off.
Well, if you're doing 4-player split screen, though, you're rendering a quarter of the screen.
I understand,
not
but
4 times the
we're talking about next-gen systems, too, with a lot more processing power.
Yeah, but I mean, next-gen, I can see it more likely than current-gen, but it's still a lot. That's actually a good point, though. I would like to see that the focal lens be wider in the next-gen. Because I found this especially on Skyrim. I felt like I was living or walking around that world with blinders on. Because I felt like the field of view is so narrow. And if they could just widen the field of view and make it a little more visually appealing, you'd get to see more of the world and stuff. I think that'd be a good thing to focus on in the next gen.
But then, are you saying people would have to buy bigger TVs?
No. Just like the visual aspect that you're seeing.
Right. All right, we're watching this video here.
I didn't see this video. This is pretty lame. But that's kind of what I was talking about.
I'm just... So
it looks disorienting to me. It does look pretty cool, though.
So it looks like there's a projector behind you projecting what's surrounding the TV or something.
What did you Google to find this?
Xbox projection, room projection.
It's interesting. It's an actual new idea.
But this isn't necessarily something they're going to have with the new Xbox. It's just something somebody else came up
we don't
with.
know anything, so it's an interesting thing to bring up.
But it'd be a fake video. Who knows?
Well,
it does say that it was...
demoed?
It's actually from Microsoft. It's not somebody else. So.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be cool.
But
yeah, I mean, have you heard anything else about the new Xbox other than...
Not really, just the rumors that it has to be online all the time.
Right.
But I don't necessarily see that happening, and I don't care.
That's like Steam. I
mean, we're talking so much about what could be. The next generation's already here. It's the Wii U.
Great segue.
You guys had a chance to play at my house.
You sampled it.
Yep.
Now, I've actually been playing it a lot more lately and enjoying it quite a bit. And I would say I love the gamepad. I think I was really impressed by the resolution and the quality of the screen on there. I enjoy Nintendo Land thoroughly. I'm really surprised by how much I love Nintendo Land. It is way more fun than I thought. I like almost all the mini games. It's way better than Wii Sports, as far as I'm concerned.
What's your favorite mini game?
Well, as we played together, the Mario Chase is pretty good with a group.
It's pretty fun.
Gets a good reaction.
Good. I dominated you guys.
I mean, I enjoyed what I saw of Nintendo Land as well, but to me, it just reminds me of Wii Sports or something that I would play when I have some friends over, but I probably wouldn't play on my own and would just collect dust for the most part.
I've been playing it solo a lot.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I guess we didn't try too many of the single-player ones, so I don't know. Maybe there's some cool...
I mean, I will say this. The best thing about the Wii U is HD Nintendo. Their art style looks so good in HD, and the colors, and it just... It's enough for me to have that.
So Nintendo Land's the killer app for you right now.
Yeah. And if they released, Wii ports in HD, I'd buy every one of the main titles.
Do they have a Mario Wii U title
new
yet?
Super Mario Brothers.
They
Wii U,
do, yeah,
which is really cool, and it's actually a lot more like Super Mario World than some of the other new Mario titles, and I think that's quite a lot of fun too. I haven't beaten it or anything, but I'm enjoying it.
We didn't try that, did we?
No,
yeah.
You guys played a bit of Zombie U,
Right.
which I haven't played too much of the single player campaign, but the multiplayer where one person's the king of the zombies using the gamepad and another person's shooting.
Was I there?
Yeah.
This must have been a different time.
Oh wait, this
Might have been a different time.
It was. But I love that. That's a lot of fun. I just wish you could play.
It was okay.
No, once you get used to it, it's better.
It was okay.
Fuck off. And then, but I wish you could play 4 players. It's kind of limiting with just 2.
Right.
And Scribblenauts is a lot of fun. But I would say the eShop games are really good too. I really like Little Inferno, which
I
is...
can't believe you like that game.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know why.
That was the game, on Wii U launch day, that was the game I played the most by far.
Are you still playing it now?
Well, I beat it and I really haven't gone back to it, but...
Okay.
So you burned everything. It
was just...
Explain to us, because this is a really strange... It's not even really a game when you think about it, but...
Whoa. It's by the guys who made World of Goo, which
Right.
I love. And you just...
2D boy,
you
I
have
think?
this Yep. You have this catalog of stuff in a fireplace, and you burn things. And you try to burn certain things together to make combos and unlock new catalog pages, and you're really just burning stuff.
Right.
There is a story portion at the end once you burn enough things. But I don't know, it's a new experience and right up my alley. Just a lot of fun.
And the fire looked nice.
It did.
Now, this is out on Steam, and
I
I think iPad as well, or coming to iPad.
Yeah, either there or coming very soon. But I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
But other than that, Nano Assault Neo is also pretty solid too. It's a Geometry Wars Super Stardust clone. But
Right.
a good one as well. And I also tried the demo for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate today.
And?
Have any of you guys ever played Monster Hunter games?
I haven't, no. I've seen them. I've thought it could intrigue me, but
I'm aware of them, but
I was not impressed.
No?
I don't know if it was just throwing me into the game without much preparation, which it was. But there's like these different sections of the levels that you transport between. And when you're fighting these monsters, sometimes they'll hit you and teleport you to another section. Like, I kept getting hit back into another section, loading, walking right back, loading. It was really weird.
that sounds like a problem from like the PS1 era.
And I obviously I don't know how to play it, so if all the Monster Hunter fans tear me a new one, whatever, I don't care.
Well, I have heard that it's a very, it's kind of an acquired taste. Those games,
I would need to get a little more tutorial, I think, to really enjoy it. But I love the art style. I like the different creatures, so it's something I would like to give another shot, but it was pretty frustrating today.
Well, I mean, from what little I've played of it, I think all I can say about the Wii U is I think I would be a lot more excited about it, and I would be a lot more likely to purchase it if it was literally just the controller and that was their new portable game system. Like, fuck the 3DS. If that's what they were selling, I would be very interested in that. And I mean, I guess, if you just play games around the house for the most part anyway, then that's fine. I mean, it is that. But I just don't really... I'm not quite sure. It's cool. You can come up with some cool mini games that work with this system, with having one person with the controller with a screen and everybody else using the TV. But in general, for big next gen games, I don't know what they're going to do to make it unique.
I think you should buy one immediately.
Of course,
for a couple reasons. One is right now there's exclusive month runs on Virtual Console games for 30 cents.
Okay.
Which you'll never be able to get again.
So, yet again, Nintendo is just trying to sell me old stuff.
For 30 cents.
Okay.
It's a steal.
Admit it's kind of intriguing you.
Not really.
Okay. I think Super Metroid's one of them.
I already have Super Metroid.
This one you can play in bed.
Okay.
Think about it.
I'm thinking.
And as for the whole Miiverse social media aspect, I admit it's actually kind of a fun little tidbit on top of the gameplay, especially the picture drawing and
People can
these little notes.
leave notes for you in certain games.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
not.
like that.
I like that it's not very intrusive. It's just kind of there. You can turn it off if you want. I don't have to go to a separate section to see what people are saying. It's integrated with the gameplay experience. And
So, like, how does it work exactly, though? Like, if you get to a certain level of Super Mario, you can draw, like, a penis, and then somebody else who's playing will see that penis?
no, I think it's just for your friends in that game.
Okay.
But some are the whole world and what they're doing and leaving notes. And, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want social media to drive a system. I think the way they're doing it as just kind of a top, very thin layer on top of the games is a good way to do it.
It's kind of interesting.
And it's in the game, right? Like, I think that's a better approach than what PS3 is doing. I'm not going to go to someone's Facebook page and look at their screenshots and see what they have to say about games. If I'm playing the game and my friend made a comment at the same part I'm at, that to me is much better.
Well, I'm sure they're going to have a PS4 interface for this stuff as well.
I think they also said that it would go to like the game-specific Facebook page, not your Facebook page.
Even worse.
Well, not really. If you're looking for stuff regarding a particular game, I'd rather go to a Facebook page for that game than like.
But don't you want to share it with your friends? Like, if you got a high score in a
I'm
game,
sure you can do both.
Okay.
Get a Wii U so we can try the chat feature.
I must say though, I'm slowly becoming more and more interested in the Wii U.
Oh, interesting.
I know. And you know why? Did you see the Nintendo Direct?
I did.
I don't know if it was this one or the last
Is it
one.
Wind Waker?
Actually,
Wind Waker HD?
Actually, that is slightly interesting to me. I am surprisingly interested in playing that.
I love Wind Waker.
I loved Wind Waker too. If they fix the boat part, I'm on board 100% with that. But it was actually the next Xenoblade Chronicles game.
Oh,
because I've been playing a shit ton of that game on Wii right now, and the follow-up looked incredible. And if it's basically just more of the same of that, but looking better, I'm hooked. I'm in.
It will be interesting to see how the difference technologically between the Wii U and other systems plays out. I would say the gap was bigger in the previous generation just because of HD. It makes a huge difference.
That's true, but I mean, there's going to be a big gap this generation too, right?
But I think art style triumphs all, and Nintendo kills at that. And if it's in HD, I don't really care. If it looks cool and it's engaging.
But there's going to be stuff that people are doing on PS4 and the next Xbox that they can't even do on the Wii U, so they just won't even bring it to the Wii U.
I think going back to what you were saying about the detail of the worlds you'll see on the PS4 and Xbox or whatever, I think on top of the environmental detail, you'll now see like the dream of what this console generation was, which was like hundreds of people in a world, and they'll actually be able to pull it off realistically now. Like GTA 5, when it comes to next gen, you'll probably have people standing around constantly and tons of them, and you won't see them like pop in way down the street. You'll see them way down the street walking, probably in full, like no sort of level of detail going on. I mean, you probably would just to make it easier on the computations, but you probably could have tons of people way down the street. You won't have to worry about the Infamous thing as much, where they had to make...
go. This is all so we could get an Infamous dig in.
No. But like Infamous, to solve this problem, made like hexagon grid space so you couldn't see down long roads, right? You probably won't need to worry about that as much in the next gen because you'll have that much more processing power. So you can make more realistic copies of real world cities. Like obviously New York has tons of straight line roads. You could never replicate that in a game right now just because the draw distance would be way too far and you wouldn't be able to draw everything. So you need to like fake it right now with either clouds or buildings in the way or hexagonal squares of buildings. And I think in the next gen, you'll see that jump. Now, I don't know if the Wii U will be able to do that as well as the other new systems.
I don't care. As long as one of those galaxy planets is in HD, I'm good to go.
I don't know. I think you're right, though. I think when Wind Waker comes out HD, even though it's a remake of a game, I think it's going to blow people's minds.
Now, one other, just to sweeten the deal a little bit for the Wii U, for both of you guys, and encouraging you to do it as soon as possible.
I'm waiting for a price drop because it's going to happen.
That's why you want to buy now.
No.
Because then there's going to be another ambassador program. You want to be a part of that. Now, just for Canadian listeners, just a general tip for buying games.
Yep.
Shoppers Drug Mart. Okay?
Look them up.
Okay.
Very, very well-known chain in Canada. Their Optimum card. Okay?
Which people use to buy makeup and other
You can use it for anything.
beauty supplies.
No, that's their general rewards program, Sean.
Okay, sorry.
Gee, Sean. God.
Well, I don't even know if I should tell you this. But they have days where you get like 20 times the points, and other days where you get, or maybe it's 2 times the points. I don't know. But there's definitely huge redeem days where if you redeem them, you get 20 times. So you can save $100 on a Wii U like that.
Okay.
That's where you want to be. Okay? Start buying your games from Shoppers and getting your Optimum points.
My wife has an Optimum card. Look out.
If she has points saved up, wait for a redeem day, boom, $150 off a Wii U.
Maybe
She'll
I'll just wait,
that.
or maybe I'll wait for a PS4 to come out and then get $100 off PS4.
It's a whisper on a screen, pal. I'm not going to make it.
They don't carry that.
Still going to be $500.
Okay.
Get a Wii U this weekend.
Consider it.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure price drop's going to happen soon because it's not selling at all. So, I'll wait.
Okay.
Anyway, do you want to talk about any of the other stuff that was announced for Wii U?
What else was there?
I don't know. I was more interested in the 3DS Direct that they had. Interested in the new Mario and Luigi. I'm interested in the new Donkey Kong, obviously.
Nintendo's always going to have their exclusive stuff.
Metroid, nowhere to be found.
That's all Sean wants. If they announced a Wii U Metroid tomorrow, would you buy a Wii U tomorrow?
There's a much better chance that it would happen.
HD Super Metroid remake?
Come on, what is Retro Studios doing right now? Like, seriously.
They're definitely working on
the next Metroid?
Metroid on Wii U.
Or maybe are they doing that Donkey Kong game?
Oh, they're probably doing that, actually, for 3DS.
Yeah, I think they're doing that.
I don't think so.
All right. Any other news type stuff, or do we want to just start talking about other games we played? Probably got a lot. Well, you guys probably have a lot.
Do we want to talk about THQ going down? I guess
no.
not.
I don't know.
It went down.
The only thing interesting with that with me was to buy that South Park game.
Oh yeah,
they only pay like $2 million.
I know.
It's close to being done.
Yeah,
it seems like a steal.
Yeah,
it's fire sale.
Should have bought it.
Didn't they? They were angry about that or something. The people developing it, Obsidian.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Once again, the game industry is falling apart.
Yeah, it really is.
And did you hear EA Montreal layoff today? Visceral. Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
It's in shambles.
Oh yeah.
But I think with the next gen, I think the games that stick around that people like, those teams are going to get enormous. I think it's just going to be a lot of really big studios.
I think a lot of people are transitioning.
Sorry, just a few really big studios.
Yeah, there'll probably be a lot of transition right now.
Bad time to be a game developer.
Yep. So, what have you guys been playing?
Go ahead.
No, I won't go first. You go.
Okay, I'll go
I got
first.
A lot of shit.
Let's start with Xbox, which I played a few things on. Halo 4 being the main one.
Played a little bit of this.
Now, it was the first time I turned my Xbox on in a long time. Halo 4 is amazing. It would have been, or I guess it is my game of the year for 2012. Artistically, this game is concept art that's come to life. The backgrounds. We've all been in the game development business, seen concept art and the transition that happens from something that is a painting to when it's in the game. This to me has got to be, I didn't see the concept art, but it's got to be extremely close. I've never seen a game where the environments look this good. It's unbelievable to me. I'm not one of these guys who, when they get a new game, they walk around really slow, they stop, they move the camera around to look at things. Oh.
Hey, watch it.
Look at that vista. But I actually did do that in Halo 4, and for that to happen, it's got to look pretty fucking good. And the multiplayer is as good as ever. I would say it reminds me the most of the original Halo of any one that's ever come out multiplayer-wise. And I've been playing quite a bit online, not a ton, but I also had a Halo LAN party with
You're pretty cool.
With a bunch of guys, including Mr. Cheel showed up for a bit.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Did you actually play? Actually pick up a controller?
Towards the end. But and Dax, who's been on Game Junk and DG. Sean didn't come.
I was not there.
You had to have
wasn't invited.
You had to have a copy, really.
I don't have one of those.
People brought TVs and it was full blown. It was a full blown Halo party, and there was a snowstorm, and everyone got plowed into my. We played till 4 a.m. Great night, but I love Halo 4. I never thought I'd be saying a fifth version of a game was amazing, but
yeah,
it really was.
I think that was not only that. People maybe were getting a little tired of the franchise, although, Halo Reach was amazing, but that it's a new studio took it over. That's huge pressure, and I don't know, I haven't played a ton of the game, but even just the feel of the weapons to me, I was, instantly impressed and thought, wow, they've actually improved this. Something that felt amazing in the other games, they've taken it and already improved it, and I don't know how they did it, but
it just feels like I was playing Halo 1 again for the first time, more than any of the other games.
Did you play any of the campaign?
Oh, yeah.
Co-op, co-op?
Oh, no.
Because that was the thing that I always used to love about Halo 1 and 2, and I never played Halo 3
I don't think there
co-op,
is a co-op campaign. It's just a cooperative online mode.
Oh,
and
really?
every week,
that's too bad.
Well, but every week they add a new
mission or something?
Yeah.
Still, though, that's too bad.
I think they do have co-op campaign. Pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I used to love doing that with buddies of Halo 1 and 2.
Just doing it with buddies.
Just doing it all night long.
And then, moving along. I'll try to go fast through this. This can get pretty boring. Fez, I finally played, and that would probably be my second best game of the year.
Nice.
It was incredible. I haven't beaten it yet because this is my problem with one problem. There's a part where there's a major roadblock, and if you're not aware of something when you go into one room regarding translation, you're kind of stuck. And maybe I was just dumb. I don't know. I've solved everything else, but I really think in that room they should have had a puzzle that made you use the translation system to get out of that room, or to make sure you got that room. Because it's one room, and then getting back to it just really becomes backtrack hell. So now that I know it, at some point I'll get back to it. Although I heard that it might get released on other platforms now, so I'm waiting to see what happens with that. If it is PS3, which I doubt.
Vita, bring it to Vita.
I'd rather have trophies than achievements. So, but I love the art style. I love everything about it, really. Other things I've played. I always say I'm never going to buy the new Call of Duty game, but I bought Black Ops.
But I did.
And I actually like it. I've only played multiplayer, really, but I still think Call of Duty multiplayer is awesome. It's an easy game to pick on, but multiplayer is a ton of fun.
I heard the campaign's actually pretty good.
I only played the first mission, and it seemed okay. I want to get back into it.
Anything new that they added that's worth mentioning, or is it just
not that I
more
can
of the
think
same?
of? But I like the zombies mode too that are in the Black Ops games. So that was another incentive for me to buy it.
Oh, Mister, I hate zombies. Love zombie mode.
I do hate zombies. Far Cry 3, haven't played it much, but was impressed out of the gate.
I've heard a lot of people saying that game is amazing, and it kind of got overlooked because it was so late. So late in the year.
It is really good so far. A little too early for me to say for sure. It does suffer from some of the travel problems that Jonathan Blow alluded to, but still, so far, pretty good. Want to get back into it. Who knows when I will. I'm brutal. Assassin's Creed 3, played about 10 hours of that. It's pretty good. Not amazing. I like the setting more than the other games. I'm kind of...
Yeah, what's the deal with this game? Because everybody was so psyched for it, and then it came out, and just kind of... nothing.
I think it sold really well. It's just... At this point, Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed. You know what you're getting, and
it's not really Assassin's Creed 3, too. It's like Assassin's Creed 5, right? Because they had Brotherhood and all the other ones that on the Assassin's Creed 2 back.
I would say it's a game that definitely has oversaturated itself.
Right.
So there'll be another one out next year.
Yeah, and people like it. That's cool, but it's pretty fun. I have to be in a mood to play it for some reason, and sometimes it just doesn't. I'm like, this ain't doing it for me. Rock Band Blitz, which I fired up again today. It's been a while. Did you end up buying this?
I bought it. I played like 2 or 3 songs. Now,
what was the first song you played?
I think it was a Foo Fighters song.
What? It wasn't Shinedown, Diamond Eyes?
I don't think it was unlocked or something.
Oh, you have to do a weird thing to unlock the songs in it. And download them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I remember that now because the first time I'm like, where are all these songs I'm supposed to get for free? But you have to like unlock it and download them to get them.
Okay. Now, one question though. I found it really strange, and I don't know if it was something that I was missing or what, but you start playing the song, and obviously the idea is you're switching between different instruments. It's kind of like amplitude, I guess. In that you're using a controller, not an instrument, not a plastic instrument, but you're switching between the different instruments, and you have to do these combinations to keep each instrument going. But I was finding that, like, for the longest time, I would just hear one instrument of the song.
Well, whatever you're on, they up the mix for that.
Well, it was like to the point where I was literally just hearing like guitar.
It might just be your surround settings.
Maybe that's what it was. But I was like, this is really weird. Like, I'm not even hearing the full song, no matter what I do, even when I'm hitting everything and doing well in the game. So I found that strange.
It's fun. It's not amazing, but
so it's not the comeback of music rhythm games.
They never went away, Sean. Huh? I would still play them every night if I could find people to play with. I love them. I never get sick of them. Resident Evil 6, which I think we all touched.
We all did, yes.
Yeah, this was going to be our review back a few months ago. And
if you'll remember, when this game was released, the reviews were not very favorable.
No, they weren't.
Resident Evil 6.
No, they were not.
Deserved.
And this is complete horse shit. This game is fucking amazing. I don't understand why this game is getting shit on so hard.
I do.
There's so many good things about it. I think the biggest difference is I started playing on easy, and on easy it was a amazingly fun game. I haven't upped the difficulty yet, but
I played on easy.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Dwyer played on easy.
Yeah.
I think I played on normal.
It was just like we talk. Everyone's the set pieces in Uncharted. Resident Evil has all that stuff. The presentation is flawless. It's Resident Evil. Like, the creature design is amazing. Some of the bosses are awesome. Like, what do people want? What is the problem? There's a vendetta out against this game. I don't know why, but it sickens me. There's 4 campaigns. What the fuck is wrong with these people? All co-op. Everyone's, no games have co-op campaigns. What's the problem? This game, 4 co-op, 3 co-op campaigns. People still aren't happy. What's the...
Well, See, I thought I was going to be on your side with this, Frank, because you were like, I love this game. People are crazy. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I think people are just maybe sick of the, Resident Evil. Like, they're picking on the voice acting and stuff like that. And I'm like, of course it's horrible.
And it's still this isn't a Resident Evil game. This Resident Evil Survivor Horror, this is an action game. Get over it. Right. That's not what it is anymore.
And also I was like, oh yeah, people are getting sick of QuickTime events in games, and maybe that's why. And I was like, I'm okay with QuickTime events. But started playing it. Huck and I both played.
We played the first campaign co-op, and then
a bit of the next one.
Yeah,
and we were just like, I don't know. Partially, I played like an hour or two on my own. And then I jumped into his campaign, which was like farther along. So I think I missed something in the middle.
Not really.
But story-wise, I have no clue what the fuck is going on.
Who cares?
No, it's not even like the thing is you're being forced to watch these cutscenes, and there's a lot of them.
There's two big ones that stand out for me. One, you get randomly dumped into this like crazy ass sewer system with your girlfriend there. You know what I'm talking about? It's like in chapter 1, maybe.
Did we start with the same campaign?
I don't know, Leon, I think.
Yeah, okay. I kind of remember that.
Yeah. So you're in this like sewer system walking around for fucking 4 hours, and then all of a sudden at the end of the sewer system, the girl you're with, sister, hops out of nowhere and becomes this monster. You remember this? No, you probably don't, because it made no fucking sense.
I don't care.
Just characters running in and out of the story willy-nilly. You're like, who the fuck is that? I don't know.
Yeah, and then the other part, so this could have been just because Fryer is brutal at games.
Let me just set the landscape for this for a second. All video game stories are pretty much terrible. There's, I would say, 2 exceptions to the rule. So let's not, especially action games, let's not say that's the reason why this game sucks. Because if we're going to attack every game, tell me what happens in an Assassin's Creed game. Because I have no fucking idea.
Assassinate people.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed.
All these stupid Italian names that they now you want to talk about introducing a new character every 5 minutes? Assassin's Creed. And I'm not going to read no fucking bio pages.
There. Let's not get off topic here.
The thing is, the voice acting's bad. There's this air of like super importance to this.
It's like a B movie action movie.
And like it's slow mo like cutscenes, and there's so many of them. Like we were playing co-op and we're just like, when can we play?
The worst was a scene just ended. You remember it was like right at the end of one of the chapters, and like you could see the helicopter. And it's like let's go to the helicopter. I'm like, all right, sweet, this is gonna be awesome. I literally took 3 steps. And then it started up another cutscene. You couldn't have just continued the cutscene. I needed to control that.
I do remember
3 steps I took to get to that helicopter so you could show me another 5 minutes. Okay, but there's also, it seemed like they were adding a ton of crap just to make the game longer.
Such as?
I don't know. I played this game 4 months ago. But I have one note written down here. The graveyard... They make you backtrack through the entire thing back to get like that fucking dog with the key.
Yeah.
Come on. Way to extend the game.
I thought the graveyard looked awesome. I was happy to go back.
Sure you were.
Do you remember
the lightning looked wicked?
Do you remember that one scene we're in where it's like we were just walking around trying to find the switch? How like we had no idea how to get out of this maze of and like we spent like an hour looking to find this one thing. We had to hit a switch somewhere. We had no clue.
I will say this.
I think that was on the helicopter area.
Maybe.
The other part, now this is probably
the Dwight guy part?
The Dwight guy being horrible part. Do you remember, I think it's the end of Leon's chapter. There's like the big monster. And there's like 2, if you're playing co-op, there's 2 parts.
Spikes go in the ground?
No. He's like, he's running across a bridge and like one guy's swimming away. In the water.
I was even thinking of a different part. But go on, this one's good too.
Yeah, so when I don't know if this happens in single player, but in co-op, one person's in the water and they're swimming away from this monster that's coming up behind them, and another person's up on a bridge and they have to shoot the monster. And I can't remember what it was.
Blair could not hit this thing with the fucking bazooka.
There was like something glowing or something, and I kept shooting
the shark,
at it. I think so.
Mutated shark?
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But I kept shooting at this glowing thing because I thought for sure that's what I'm supposed to shoot.
It is.
But nothing happened, and it kept dying, and I was like, what the
We
fuck?
literally played that 20 times. At least.
Okay, so maybe we had different gameplay paths, so to speak. But that was one of the things I liked about the game. And I was playing on easy, fair enough, but I never got stuck anywhere. The pacing was awesome for me. I didn't have a problem with the cutscenes. I don't care about QuickTime. They don't bother me.
Yeah, the QuickTime doesn't bother me. The other part I was thinking of, you'll remember this when I start telling you, is that, speaking of QuickTime events, is that at the end of Leon's chapter, there's like this fly boss or something. So you start running across some bridge or something, and Leon gets ahead and falls down onto this, I don't know, like whatever's below you. And then the other person, who is Dwyer, needs to continue on and do these QuickTime events on these button things to move whatever cart I had fallen onto over to the other side so I can escape. And literally, I'm fighting the boss while Dwyer is trying to do these QuickTime events. And I think we died probably about 40 times with that one. He's like, I can't get this fucking QuickTime event. And then like zombies are coming up and hitting him.
It was like, yeah, you had to keep pushing. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but yeah, there's like zombies coming up behind you, and you had to keep fighting them off and then hitting this thing and then fighting them off and hitting this thing. And it was so frustrating. I thought you were going to talk about when you're, I think when you're on that plane that with the open door and you have to like climb up it, and there's like the button press in that certain pattern.
Oh, the climbing is brutal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's endless times where we were just playing this thing and just so frustrated. And
I think the plane was funny. I think there was like a really funny moment in the plane that made no sense, that it was hilarious.
I was not frustrated at all. It was a complete joy to me.
Did you play through all the campaigns? How many campaigns did you play through?
I think 1.5. Same as you guys.
Oh, okay. So,
but I loved it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Fair enough.
You loved it. Good for you.
Now, just to be clear, I was a big fan of Resident Evil 5. I know some people thought 5 went too far in the action direction. I still really liked. We played most of that in co-op, and I still really liked it. So
it's exactly the same.
It's not at all.
It's not.
There's actual, like, there's so much more wide open areas where you're playing, and this you're funneled into these corridors, and you're just watching cutscene after cutscene.
I felt they were trying to make a Michael Bay movie, like especially the scene where. I think it was in most of the previews where like you're in the helicopter and then you start crashing, and then you like crash into a building, and then you fall out, and then the glass is cracking. Oh, there just happens to be 1,000 zombies underneath you. And then the helicopter conveniently starts to fall, and you conveniently just get out of the way. And then, of course, the zombies.
Oh my God, if we're going to talk about convenient escapes, biggest offender of all time, Uncharted 3. There's tons of that in that game, where he'll step on a piece of wood in a place that's on fire, and it'll trigger a cutscene where he hangs on and grabs and does something. Uncharted 3 has tons of that stuff. You know what? This is bullshit. Resident Evil 6, I don't know what it is, why people have a problem with it, but it's the
climbing.
It's the climbing. It's their problem.
Did you enjoy the climbing? Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm
bullshit. You got it. I know Dwyer fell at least 50 times.
Okay. Lots of falling.
Next up, Dishonored, which I'm really enjoying.
I played a little bit of it.
You probably don't like it because it's very similar to BioShock.
I don't know.
To me,
I haven't played it enough to make a real. I like it more than BioShock, but I've only put in maybe an hour, and I don't get it yet.
Yeah, to me, it's almost a reskinned BioShock, and I really think it's quite good. I love the art style too. Amazing. XCOM, Enemy Unknown.
Game of the year.
I wouldn't go that far. I first of all, I don't think you can give it Game of the Year because it really is just a remake.
I don't know. I didn't play the original XCOM.
Neither did I.
This game's fucking amazing. How could you not say this game's not amazing?
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm just saying I don't think you could ever give it Game of the Year.
I totally disagree with that.
But I really like the choice mechanisms and managing everything, and
it's just amazing.
Like, every choice has consequences for a strategy game. I think
they totally capture the art of having your decisions matter. Like, you make one wrong... It's kind of like Fire Emblem, where, like, you make one wrong mistake, and you know you made that mistake. It's not because the game cheated. They show you the percentages. You know your chances. It's not like, oh, I should hit here. You know you had a 33% chance, and you gambled, you lost. I think it's so well done. I think they just captured everything that they needed to about this game. And they really brought, like... art, like, I guess it's not an RTS. Would it be like a strategy game?
Is it turn-based or is it?
It's turn-based.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not real time, but it's a strategy, turn-based strategy to the consoles, which no one's really been able to do yet. Maybe Valkyria Chronicles. Great.
But that's a little more action-oriented.
Yeah, it's a little more action, too. But, I mean, they are probably the only ones that have been able to bring a similar game to the consoles.
One thing I'll say about this is when you're playing it, like when you're sitting down locked in, it's extremely addictive. Like, I just want to keep playing, get to the next event, the way you simulate it. I could play for a long time. Once I put it down, though, I don't necessarily get the urge to go back in.
I'm kind of in the same boat, but I still really enjoy it. Like, I'm not even very far in it, but I love it. I don't know how to explain it.
The problem I have with it is there's so much going on that you have to be aware of, that I feel if I don't play for 2 days and I go back in, like, I already forgot about all these different things I have to manage. So I think you have to play it a long time before certain things become second nature. And I just feel if I go back in, I'm going to fuck up my whole campaign.
Yes. I'm not very far even. I'm just at the first, like, big alien base, which I think is like a quarter of the way through the game or something. Maybe not even. And I feel like I need to devote a lot of time to it, and I just don't have the time to devote it. So I don't want to start doing it and then kind of like half-ass it.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I also finally played Okami in HD form on PS3, and this game's amazing. This is probably my favorite thing I've been playing.
I'm curious about
very late to the party, but I love everything about it.
I'm curious about the DS version of this game.
I have it. I haven't played it.
Well, it's not the same game.
So,
it's a sequel,
Okami
right?
Den, yeah.
But yeah, because I mean that seems like an even better medium for that game.
Yeah, it's really cool. My only complaint, I guess, would be having to go through dialogue and no way of speeding it up.
I do remember I had Okami for PS2,
and the beginning of the game takes.
I was like, "Fuck this!"
But once you get past that, it's pretty awesome, and I love the characters and art style. Nino Kuni.
Oh,
Nino Kuni.
Jealousy over here.
How
is it?
I only played it for a bit. It looks amazing.
Game of the year?
I wouldn't go that far. I would say it's not that revolutionary gameplay wise, and I'm very early into it, but I love the art. I love some of the creatures, and
I need to pick that game up.
It's a really cool concept. The idea of Studio Ghibli, and it really feels like a Studio Ghibli movie, is impressive. So, more power to him.
Now, in terms of it being like a JRPG, is it like super hardcore RPG or like...
No, I wouldn't say that, although I'm pretty early. I haven't even gotten into a lot of the creature...
Pokemon
like
mechanics.
The Pokemon stuff. I'm not a big Pokemon fan, so I'm kind of worried once I get to that. But at first I was like, that's it. This is the game. I'm going to get it. I'm going to play this game exclusively until I'm done it.
It's a big commitment.
And then I stopped after the first day.
Was it something else took your attention away, or just
who knows? Fuck. I buy a new game every week, and I play it for an hour. What a waste of money! It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
You should follow my new strategy, which is don't buy any games.
Yeah, that's my strategy. Go to the library.
I can't. I have to spend my money on something.
No, my new thing is I think I'm going to try and stick to this digital downloads and portable games only, with the exception of one or two big games this year. Big console games.
It's a good plan.
We'll see if you stick to that.
We'll see.
I'll tell you what, you've already made a couple of mistakes in that regard. The biggest being Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah, I've heard some good things about it.
You were loving this.
Oh my god, this game is the best. If this would have come out last year, it would have been my game of the year. Still haven't beat it. Obviously, I don't beat anything anymore, but the the combat's amazing. The level design's awesome. The way all these different mechanics that flow together so well. Even for just the platforming aspects, there's tons of cool stuff going on there. Awesome enemy design and real control of combat and combos. Like in a lot of these brawlers, it's easy to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Just
boring,
a casualty of enemy AI, and it's almost expected that you're going to take damage, but hopefully you hurt them more than they hurt you. This is totally, I know when enemy attacks are coming. If I fuck up, it's my fault, and it's just a lot of fun.
Now,
highly recommend.
Were you a big fan of the other?
I liked the first one. I didn't really play the second two, but I wasn't like crazy about them. Okay. But out of all the games that are out right now, I would say Devil May Cry. Pick it up.
Interesting.
What's going on out there? Sly Cooper, which Sean also played.
This is the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I am actually quite a big fan of so far.
Loving the crossplay because I've only played it on the Vita. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to say about it yet. I'm going to try and play it a bit more, but I haven't played any other Sly Cooper game. I have the collection, but I haven't.
The first one's was still my favorite.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But like the thing playing the first level in this, like I was really enjoying it, and I was just kind of realizing, like I don't know how accurate it is to the other Sly Cooper games, but I was just realizing I missed out on a lot of great platformers from the PS1 days because I didn't play Ratchet and Clank, didn't play Jak and Daxter, didn't play any of these.
If I had to recommend which ones to play, number 1 would be Jak 1. Number 2, Sly 1.
Okay.
I love Jak 1. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Nice.
And it's Naughty Dog. You love Naughty Dog.
I do.
You're going to like it. And visually, it still holds up very well. NBA 2K13, I've played a bit. It was on sale around All-Star Weekend, so I got the itch. I still do not understand all the controls and subtleties of this game, but, you know, it's fun being the Hornets once in a while. And actually getting them to win.
Do they have an update with Pelicans?
No Pelicans yet, unfortunately. And finally, just picked up 2 days ago, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Now, I was really excited for this game.
You were pretty pumped.
It's the kind of game where I thought it was going to be, it's a unique new gameplay mechanic. It's not just doing what every other game does. It's got some cool Twitch gameplay that Platinum Games always brings to the table, like Bayonetta and Vanquish. And putting that with the aesthetic of Kojima and Metal Gear, and visually, I think it was incredible looking. All those things together would add up to an amazing experience. And it does. It's incredible. I love this game. I really like it. I feel like I'll need to play it a few times to get the hang of things, but so far, I love the slicing mechanic, the ninja run, the visuals are amazing, and I don't know. I'm super digging this game, and
how does the slicing thing work exactly? Like, is it goes into like a bullet time kind of thing?
That's one way where you trigger it and then like you slice armor off things, and then there's another one where if you just hold L1, you stand still and you're in free slice mode.
Free slice.
And you can use this anytime?
Yeah.
So what action game would you say is better, Devil May Cry or this?
So far Devil May Cry, but I'm only an hour into Revengeance, so it's tough to say.
Small sample.
Yeah. Because I've unlocked quite a bit of stuff in Devil May Cry, and that's really interesting. So I've heard that Revengeance has a Mega Man mechanic where every time you beat a boss, you get their weapons.
Oh, I like that. I like the sound of that.
Which I admit, that's a mechanic that's not used enough.
I agree. It's amazing.
So now I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet in Revengeance. I've just read about it, but You thinking about it now? Thinking about breaking your vow?
If I break my vow for anything, it's probably gonna be for Tomb Raider. So,
right now, if you traded in
Dwyer loves digital boobs.
Sleeping Dogs and one other game, you could get it for free.
yeah, I was debating doing that for Sly Cooper.
Well, Sly Cooper's only $35.
Right, but they had a deal that at Future Shop.
Oh,
but the Future Shop by me is now closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when I called you about that deal, it was gone the next day.
Oh, too bad.
It went back to 2 for $60.
The Future Shop off Dundas?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's closed.
What?
Yeah, they closed a bunch of stores.
God.
Kind of makes
I didn't
sense
even know. I
because
guess
the
it's been
Best
how long
Buy
it-
is just across the
Yeah, I
street.
guess so.
but-
I guess it's been, I used to go there all the time. Damn.
But that's it for
shows
me.
How long I've been there.
That's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Wow.
Oh, also, if anyone listening has a Wii U, I'm looking for friends. So feel free to add me, Dirty Frank.
Nobody has a Wii U.
Well, you never know.
How many R's?
3 R's and Dirty, as usual. And we'll talk about this too. We had a little
Really?
retro gaming party
Oh, yes.
at my house,
We did.
which was mostly playing old sports games
It was, actually.
and American Gladiator
I
for
love that.
Genesis.
That was amazing. And yelling at the systems when they don't work.
There was a big ramp up to trying to get these systems working. I had a few issues in the retro gaming lounge, and
You got to have this stuff ready to go,
Good
man.
thing you had so many extra cords.
I was pretty frustrated at one point, but we got through it. And I'll admit it right here, Huck beat me at Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey.
I did.
First time I've lost.
He says ever. I don't believe him.
I still have it on video, so.
Do you really?
They got the proof, man.
Now, I'll say this. Before I played Huck, we played 2-on-2 about 5 games.
Yep.
And I was paired with Sean.
Yep.
And my theory is Sean brought me down
To his level?
to
Hey, we won the first game.
a non-Frank level of competitive
We
play.
won the first game. That's all I got to say.
I
I don't know.
Get it?
You were getting pretty ramped when it was like 7-7 with like a minute left in the third.
I'm just normally I'm way better. And I still think we needed to switch directions a bit more. But whatever, I'm not a sore loser.
I believe we did have a discussion about having an all-day Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey tournament.
Which I would
one
be
time.
very, very very excited to do.
I can say this is my first time playing the N64 Wayne Gretzky hockey. And,
You missed out.
at first it was a little weird. Controls are a little backwards, and the graphics are just
There's a learning curve.
very
It's kind of like the NFL Blitz
colorful,
of hockey.
and yeah, I mean it totally is. But I got into it by the end. I was kind of digging it.
It's a fun little game. I wish they had continued the series
Especially when you can
brought
see-
it back in the way they brought Blitz back.
Yeah, especially when you can see the flowing hair of Jeremy Roenick.
Well, didn't they make NHL Hits? Isn't that
Yeah,
what
for a
Midway
while.
did after that?
Yeah, I don't like it as much though. I was never as big a fan of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was a fun little retro party.
sure was. I enjoyed beating your ass. Although I think it was only like 8-7 or 9-7.
No,
so-
I was more. I think you beat me by 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we could consult the video. So, I backed my first ever Kickstarter project.
Ouya?
Nope. Star Citizen. Have you guys seen this game?
No.
It's like
Sounds familiar.
it's like a space sim.
God.
Super cool, I know.
Space sim. So
Sim.
like astronaut simulator?
Like, do you guys ever play Wing Commander or Freelancer?
No.
I know
You've
what Wing
heard of them?
Commander is.
Yeah.
It's by the same guy that made those two games.
That's why I've heard of it, yeah.
So, anyways, looks cool. I love Freelancer, the game. It was an EA game. Played a shit ton of it, so I backed it. I think I spent $35 or something. I was like, whatever, due in like 2014 sometime. I don't know, when it comes out, I guess I'll have to upgrade my PC and try to make sure it works, but I don't know, felt like playing it. I played the first chapter of The Walking Dead. This game is amazing. I don't know if you
Game
guys...
of the year.
It really could
For
be.
you?
No, I haven't played it enough.
Well, it was
to say
for a lot of
sure, but
people.
it could be up there for me.
I played the first chapter and was completely hooked on it, and just I got the first 2 chapters free through PlayStation Plus, and I just haven't had the time to go back and play the second chapter yet, and I kind of want to wait until I have the whole thing. So I was going to wait for some sort of deal or to come on sale.
See, this is
Just buy the
that's-
disc.
Well,
Yeah,
is,
you
is
can.
the disc cheap? I'm cheap.
$30.
This is the thing, though. Like, I got it on PlayStation Plus, started playing it on that. Then they put the first chapter up for free on the App Store, and I started playing it on the iPad. And actually, I think I like it more. Like, it just makes more sense with the touch
On the
controls
iPad?
and
Yeah.
stuff. And actually, I thought it looked... I don't know if I was just not paying close enough attention, but there was a lot of details in the visuals that I noticed on the iPad that I didn't notice on the PlayStation. But and then they had a sale on Steam, so I ended up buying all 5 on Steam. But I'm like, fuck, I kind of want
And
to
you
play it
haven't
on the
even touched the
iPad.
Steam one?
No, I haven't touched it yet. But the thing is with this, like, it's by Telltale Games. I talked before about how the Jurassic Park game was such a disappointment. Although, I mean, maybe I haven't given it enough of a chance, but it was pretty bad. This, I don't know how they did it, but I think it's just good writing.
Yeah, it's
and,
amazing.
Just somehow capturing the look of the comic and putting you in situations. I think it's like it's mostly dialogue, but you're...
I think what it is they're not really like forcing anything on you. They kind of like put you in a small situation and they just let you kind of talk to everyone, get the feel. Everyone kind of has their own personality, which I think really brings the story out. I don't know. It's just so good. They capture the mood and the tension so well.
Yeah, but it's not even like a typical adventure game. Like, you have segments where you can kind of walk around and pick stuff up and look at stuff, but you fairly quickly you're thrust into another, tense action scene or something, and they have these things in dialogue even when it's not necessarily an action scene where there's a timer counting down, and that kind of forces you to, like, okay, I got to decide this right now. And they make a point of, like, when you say certain things, people remember them. And then you're like, shit, okay, I got to keep my story straight. And, like, I don't know. Like, one thing I'm always fascinated by is...
Oh, they make you remember which game flags you set.
Yeah, they actually
How
do.
revolutionary.
But with dialogue in games, people always talk about making it fun, and it never is. It always feels like I have to keep asking people to get more information to continue in the game. But here, it's like the conversation is the game for a lot of it, and it kind of works.
I
It
can't remember
actually
what they
sounds
call it.
intriguing.
I can't remember what they call it. It's like a narrative structure where you're the, like, ignorant narrator or something like that. Like, the character knows his past, and you're kind of like filling it in through his choices as you go. I don't know. If I took journalism or literature, I'd probably know, but it's basically something like he knows, and you kind of choose, like, in this case anyways, you're being informed of the story as he's telling it to other people. So he never actually tells you explicitly what happened. And so you don't even know if he's lying or not, because you're kind of directing his lie or truth depending on what happened. So, and the other thing that's cool, did you actually finish chapter 1?
No, but I think I'm pretty close to the end now.
So at the end of chapter 1, there's like 5 or 6 major game flags you set, and it actually shows you at the end, though, it actually shows you how you compared to every single other person that played the game, percentage-wise. So you can kind of see, like, did you choose to kill that asshole, like, compared to
Spoiler.
whoever else did? So it's kind of neat to see the swings of, like, were you with the crowd or kind of the opposite? I don't know. I really want to get into chapter 2 and finish the game up.
You convinced me.
But
Check it out. It's free.
Yeah.
Check out the first chapter for free.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Maybe we'll try it on the iPad.
Do it up.
I need a reason to fire that thing up one of the ones fucking
I also threw in Valkyria Chronicles again quickly, just because I was this is right before XCOM came out. So
Just give us a trophy patch for the love
I know.
of God.
I was really hoping there'd be one there waiting for me. Around Halloween, I threw in Costume Quest. Still amazing. I bought one of those THQ bundles or something. It had Metro 2033, Bastion, a few other games. So I played those a bit, not very much. I was enjoying them all. I played Far Cry 2 a bit. It was on free on PlayStation Plus. I picked up FTL and Mark of the Ninja on Steam, or I guess I got Mark of the Ninja on Xbox. I was really enjoying Mark of the Ninja. I don't know if you guys played it.
No.
A little bit of it.
Yeah, I didn't play that much either, but I was enjoying it. FTL, I love. I can't beat. Game's fucking hard, but it's so fun.
What is that game? Is it a sim as well, or a strategy game, or what?
I think they call it a roguelike, where basically you go until you die, and then the game's over. There's no saving in between. And essentially what it is you're trying to get from like sector 1 to 8, and then at sector 8 you fight the boss. And along the way, you kind of choose your path, and you're being chased. It's kind of like almost like Battlestar Galactica in the sense where you're running, you're trying to get wherever you are in Battlestar Galactica. I can't remember. You're just running, and then people are chasing you. So you have like a limited time in each sector to sort of pick your path and do whatever it says to do.
What Battlestar Galactica are you talking about?
I don't know. I thought that's what they do. I thought they run from the Cylons constantly.
Yeah, and
yeah, they just run.
Space.
Anyways, yeah, you're in space. That's what this game is, in space. You're a spaceship.
Oh, okay. So it's exactly like Battlestar Galactica.
Exactly like Battlestar Galactica. Okay. So you like stop at different worlds and pick up characters and and like upgrade systems and make money and fight other guys. So it's just a matter of you start off with like, I think it's like 2 ship designs that have different features, and then as you go along and do more things, you get more ship designs and more features unlocked, and yeah, it's just it's hard to describe, but it's really intriguing. It's almost like a strategy game, almost like XCOM, where you kind of like you play, you don't really know what you're doing at first, you die early, and then you kind of like learn from your mistakes and get better, and then improve your strategy, and then by the end, so I think it took me maybe 5 or 6 attempts to make it to the 8th sector. And then the boss just completely has destroyed me every single time. So I don't know. I would say definitely check it out. I think I got it on sale for like $7 or something like that. Definitely pick it up if you guys think you'd like something like that.
No chance.
I picked up Super Meat Boy. I'd never played it before.
Oh, it's awesome.
That game is super tight. The controls are awesome.
Tight.
Yeah, that's right. Tight controls. What else here? I borrowed Last Story from the library. Pretty good. About halfway through. I'd probably rent it again. It wasn't anything special, but it was a good little action RPG. Xenoblade Chronicles, I played a shit ton. I'm on hour 70 now. And I'm probably like, I know, I'm probably like 4/5 of the way through the game.
So you've logged probably more hours on your Wii with that game than I have played on my Wii for any game total.
I know, and that's why I'm
so. I thought you were going to say all games.
Well, yeah, all games total. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I don't know what this is about this game. I think it's kind of like the same addiction that people have to Skyrim. I have to this game. It's just, I don't know. It's just so
I want to be addicted to a game so bad.
I don't know what you mean.
I can't. I just can't. It won't happen.
Try it out. Wait till Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii U comes out and then try it.
Is it the same game? HD?
No, I think it's like the next game in the series, but it'll be probably the exact same.
Why can't I have that love, that lust?
I don't know, man.
When's it going to happen for me? When's it going to be my
Got to find the right game.
Wind Waker HD.
Settle down, find the right game.
I picked up a Indie Royal bundle. Or Royale, I don't know what it is. It had a game called To the Moon, which I was kind of interested in, but that game is not very good. It's like
what?
Yeah, they call it an RPG, but it's really not. It's like an action, or it's like an adventure puzzler. The only problem is all the puzzles are the same, and the adventure part is just you walking from like point A to point B.
Are the puzzles like a square where you have to draw a line?
Basically,
from one
except instead of drawing a line, you flip tiles until all the tiles are the same.
I played the demo for this game.
This is an action
No. Adventure
Puzzler.
Yes.
In space.
No, not in space.
Or it has moon in the title.
It has moon in the title, yes.
Like, Sean, this is...
I played the demo,
your
and
game.
I actually think it's a little better than what he's saying, but I think the thing is...
It was good. How long was the demo? Like 10 minutes?
Half an hour, maybe.
So
maybe a little
I
less.
maybe played it for an hour and a half, and it's good. Like, it's fine, but it just gets very repetitive.
I think the thing most people seem to praise it for is the story.
Yeah, and I couldn't bring myself to repetitively do the same puzzles over and over again to get through the story.
Okay, fair enough.
In that same bundle, there was a game called The Blackwell Deception. Have you guys heard of this? It's like a adventure game made by Widget Eye Games or something like that. It's like the guy, he's known for another game called Mark of the Shiva. I don't know if you guys heard of that, another adventure game. Anyways, it's just like a small indie game company that does it, specializes in adventure games. I really liked it. It was good. Funny storytelling and stuff. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy Dimensions on the iOS. I actually liked it. The first prologue was free, and then it's $30 for the rest of the game.
I haven't even heard of this.
This is the thing. I think it's cool that they're putting out original games on iOS, but the price is
The
nuts.
game was actually really fun, and before I knew the price, I was considering buying it, but then once I saw it was $30, I was like, there's no way.
Is it just a typical Final Fantasy?
Yeah, it's just like a 2D, like Final Fantasy 2 or Final Fantasy 3 Final Fantasy game on your iOS, and the controls are pretty good.
You just touch where you want to go? And...
no, there's like a virtual...
no.
But it's a little... yeah. It's pretty good, though. I borrowed Resistance 3 from Frank. I was having a little shooter want to play. Desire.
The most underrated game series
So good.
in history.
I love this game. I actually kind of want to borrow it from you again to play through it again. It was so good. I crushed it in, I think,
you
2
got
sittings.
binary domain.
Oh, yeah, I got it
so.
back from you. I'm playing the shit out of that.
Why don't you pick up the Resistance trilogy?
I don't like the first game. And I like the third game, so...
What about part 2? You might like that.
No,
then it's worth it.
Did you play 2?
No.
Oh, 2's amazing.
I'm gonna just cut my losses and just stick with 3.
I love Resistance.
It's good, though. I enjoyed it. So, this was probably like a month ago. Left 4 Dead 2 was free on Steam for a weekend. So I was like, I never played Left 4 Dead. I want to give this baby a whirl. So I jump in. I play one single game. I jump in, and I'm obviously in with 3 other people that know what they're doing. Let's put it that way. I'm playing on my fucking laptop. Let me set the stage. Playing on my laptop, no mouse, shitty touchpad control, trying to look around. I was staring at the floor probably half the time.
You were admiring the art?
I was admiring the art of the floor. So we eventually get out of wherever we were. People will probably know this level, and you're kind of near a lake, and then there's a house that you have to defend.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anything about this. So I'm defending the house. I'm holding my own. I'm killing 1 or 2 guys. Everyone else is doing the rest. I got 1 weapon. And then this big fucking monster comes out of nowhere. And I'm trying to run away from him. And I don't know if this is a special situation, but I jumped off the roof as he caught me, and he hit me. And I probably went 200 feet into the lake.
Well, that happens.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Because all of a sudden, I just get tons of messages from the people playing me. Just did that just happen?
Oh, maybe.
What happened there? Where did that really just happen? They're amazed that I literally just got completely destroyed. And then I shut it off. It was a great experience, though. I loved it. And
it's one of the best co-op games.
Yeah, it was so much fun playing with randoms I didn't know. Obviously, totally carrying me through this whole game, but I only played for about 10 minutes and then had to go, so it was fun while it lasted. Frog Fractions. I showed you guys Frog Fractions before. Everyone needs to Google Frog Fractions and then just play. It's about an hour long. Just stick with it.
If you know the secret.
Just stick with it. It'll
blow your mind.
Yeah, just stick with it. It's not what it appears.
I don't get it. I still don't get it, to be honest with you.
These guys gave up too early. Just
I kind of get it.
Fractions. Just how it sounds. You guys are bummed.
It's honestly, it's starting to become the nothing but trouble of games for me. So ridiculous. It's incredible.
So after the last show, people were saying that I need to try Dark Souls.
I also tried it.
So I picked it up, And let me say, this game is fucking amazing. It is like Mega Man. This is my analogy. It's like Mega Man, except with Frank's favorite RPG elements. So in the same
Your favorite?
He hates them, I mean. In the same like vein as Mega Man, you have to know what the enemies you're facing are doing. If you don't, you're going to get killed. Same thing in Dark Souls. If you don't do the right move at the right time or know where the guys are going to be, you're going to get killed. But the problem is that in Mega Man, if you want to say make a jump or kill an enemy, you have to do it. You have to make the exact right jump and have the exact right weapon equipped. With Dark Souls, you can go and fight a bunch of weaker guys and gain enough souls so that you can increase your jump skill to make it easier to make that jump, or increase your weapon skill to make it easier to kill that guy. So in a sense, by playing the game, you get rewarded with like more skill points, making the game easier, which allows you to progress. So although people say it's really hard, it's not quite the same as Mega Man, where you could get overly frustrated and just give up.
My biggest problem with it, I think it's a pretty good game too. I don't have anything against it. But I find sometimes there'll be a difficult enemy, right? This is the game, obviously.
Yep.
It's die and retry. But sometimes when I have to retry something, the checkpoints are too big.
Yeah, where you died is too far.
Yeah, and
you can also get fucked where like they knock you over an edge of a ledge and then you lose like 2,000 souls or whatever, which is quite a bit to spend. Yeah, it gets frustrating.
If there was a bit more...
You're talking about that big-ass knight down in that one dungeon, aren't you?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
But if there was just a little shorter distance on some of the stuff, I think I would be less frustrated.
I think overall they did a pretty good job of designing the levels to avoid that and placing the bonfires in good locations where you can get back to everything. And also, as long as you open the right doors or knock down the right ladders, they always make sure there's a shortcut once you've progressed that amount of distance, right? So you don't have to do crazy amounts of backtracking through all the same enemies, because the enemies respawn every time you die. So, I don't know. I just think it's amazing how you can progress through the game and the game actually gets easier, although it's essentially the exact same game the whole time. So if you get caught, you know you can just go to a slightly easier section, grind for a bit, get your souls up, buy whatever upgrades you need to do, and then go and try the game again. I think it's a really smart design decision for this part. Also, the controls are so good. I mean, it's basically like block, wait for the enemy to hit your shield and then attack yourself, but at the same time the controls are super responsive. You never really feel like the game's cheating you. You know, everything you do, that guy does as you do it, and it just makes the game not frustrating at all. I think that's the big difference. Is a Mega Man game you can get really frustrated. This I rarely felt frustrated. I knew it was my fault if I died or whatever. Some of the bosses are
I don't know, when you hit a big enemy sometimes out of nowhere, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
the problem is you die so quickly, you don't have enough time to die and kind of figure out what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, you're dead. Well,
there are definitely
now I have to go back there.
Like
chances are I'm going to die right away again. So I just think if it was slightly easier in the sense that I don't care if I die, but at least let me make some mental progress on how to approach this guy before I die.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Some guys just basically you walk in the room and you're dead, which is obviously not good. Not a good design, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And yeah, some of the bosses are incredible looking, and yeah, it's like a big giant puzzle, but it does punish you sometimes pretty badly. I like it.
Not a game for Dry Guy.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Although that does intrigue me, the idea of building up your souls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like Mega Man, except you can.
How does that intrigue you? It's like any RPG. It's just a different name for experience.
Yeah, I guess.
So if every RPG called their experience souls, you'd be in?
But just the idea that you're actually increasing your jump height and things
I don't
like
think
that.
you can
that
increase your
No,
jump.
it was an
Oh,
example.
well, I'm not interested at all then.
There's no jumping, but
It's strictly leveling up like any RPG.
yeah, but you
With souls.
but your like defense, your health, every other thing except jumping, you can't jump. Whatever.
Then I'm out.
And you know, Kuni, you collect pizzas, and the more pizzas you
I'm
eat,
interested in that.
That's not true.
All right, I'm gonna rip through the rest. I played a little bit of Retro City Rampage. I was liking it. Didn't
played
get that
that.
far.
I like it. I don't know. I feel like people have been really hard on this game. And, like, I mean, it is Grand Theft Auto, basically, like the original Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But just, you know, made to be tons of references to old games and just sort of goofy and...
Yeah, it's weird because I played the demo before it was free for PlayStation Plus and actually didn't like it. And then it came on PlayStation Plus for free. I was like, oh, I'll give it another whirl. And I actually really enjoyed it. I found the writing really funny. So I don't know if it was just the time I played it the second time, I liked it more. If I was more open to it the second time. If the demo was shit, I'm not sure what it was, but I really liked it the second time I played it more.
Interesting.
Yep. I played the beta for Guacamelee. Looking good team. And
Can't wait.
yeah, it's coming out soon. Everyone should keep their eyes peeled on PSN for that. I played a bit of Sleeping Dogs, like I said already. And I played a bit of Company of Heroes, which is in that THQ bundle. And the only other thing I've played is NHL 13, which I have a massive rant for, but I'll save it for another time.
So,
I have
in
a big
general,
one.
not a fan of NHL.
Not a fan. My biggest pet peeve is that so many media outlets are giving it such a good score. I don't think it deserves
It's
any
the exact
sort of
same
good
as the
score.
one before.
No, it's not. It's worse. It's way worse. Like, you hated NHL 12.
I just hate charge passing.
Okay. Well, it still has the charge passing is better now, in the worst way. So if you tap it, it's a hard pass, and if you hold it now, it'll go faster. But the odds of your guy not receiving the pass is like through the roof. So if I want to make a really hard pass up the ice, apparently the guy forgets how to play hockey and misses the pass like 50% of the time.
So there is a way to do quick pass now? With the
Yeah, you just tap it. and
Oh
it's
my
like
god, I
a
didn't even know that. This game's amazing.
9 out of 10.
I'm going to play
game
it
of
when
the
I
year.
go home tonight.
Yeah, it's brutal. Anyways, I have a whole list of frustrations with this game, but the main thing is that I don't think it deserves any type of praise. I mean,
I feel that way a bit about NBA 2K13.
yeah.
Like, they're talking about, they've added these modes where in my player, in between games, I'll have to go to press conferences and answer a question that shapes my character. And I'll have to...
RPG elements, man.
and I'll have to, before the draft, these guys ask me questions from different teams to decide which team I end up on. These sections are so long and boring and look like shit. It's incredible. How this could be praised, it's just adding shit for the sake of adding shit. It sucks. Fuck that.
The one thing I do like about NHL is the new GM connected mode, which is actually really fun. Like, all my buddies have a team in it, and you just like play the computer, play the people, and it keeps track of a whole scene. It's just be a GM mode, but with people nowhere near you, which is a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep. Pretty sweet.
Black guy, go up.
All right. I don't have too much more to add. Did download and play a bit of The Cave, which was a very
I played the demo as well.
highly
today.
anticipated game for me.
Nice.
From Ron Gilbert, one of the creators of Maniac Mansion, Monkey Island, and the whole thing was Maniac Mansion meets Metroid. So it's like an adventure game with different characters. You can play through the story you choose 3 characters at the beginning, but there's like 8 to choose from, I think.
It's a cream dream supreme for Hawaii.
But it's actually a platformer. Sounds great in theory, and I do like the game quite a bit, but...
He would hate it. A lot of backtracking.
True. But the thing I'm disappointed in is that it's still basically an adventure game. It's not much of a platformer. There's not a lot of action or skill required in maneuvering through the cave. It's basically like just that you're jumping from place to place to pick up items to bring them back to use them somewhere else as opposed to pointing and clicking, which, whatever. I like the actual voice narration of the cave is amazing and hilarious, and I really enjoy that. But I'm gonna sit down and try and get through it, and
one of these
try
days.
to be dedicated to that because I'm enjoying it. But on a related note, I'm also playing another Double Fine game, an older
Costume
one.
Quest?
Psychonauts.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, and I had this for the original Xbox. Played a little bit of it, never got very far, but I bought it on Steam a while back and been able to get some gaming in. Enjoying those slippers? Been able to get some gaming in at work from time to time on lunch and whatnot. And this game's amazing.
yeah?
Like, I don't know, maybe it goes without saying at this point, but it's so creative. The idea of, these different levels being in different people's minds. And it's weird playing it now after Inception having come out, and it's kind of got some of the same ideas as Inception. And
Is it dreams within dreams?
Yeah, there is the idea of you can only go to a certain level in the dream world or something like that. And basic braining. Come on, that's an easy win.
Basic braining?
Yeah, instead of basic training.
Oh.
So many like little puns like that, and it's funny because it kind of reminds me of like a Pixar movie in that way. And then I remembered that there's a movie that Pixar is working on. I don't know if it has a title yet, but it takes place in the mind. And I remember people saying that it sounded like a ripoff of Psychonauts, so it's kind of weird. But I don't know. Love the game, and it's weird. It's an older game, obviously, but and the graphics aren't amazing, but the style, like the very cartoony style of the characters, I find is still very fun to look at because of the fact that the characters are so out there. And
is it an action platformer? I can't remember.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the game adaptation of Psycho Dad. Al Bundy's character when he goes to become Psycho Dad.
That's right.
Psycho Dad.
A couple other things I'll mention. I downloaded a game called Ikachan for the 3DS. It's kind of a prequel to Cave Story, and it's what you might call Metroidvania, although Frank does not like the term.
No, I do not.
But really enjoyed it. Only problem is it's about 2 hours long. So $5 for 2 hours of gameplay. I don't
Perfect
know.
length for you.
For me, it's perfect. Other people might not agree. But you basically play a little squid and you swim around in this water environment, and you get like a hat that lets you break bricks above you, and then you get another power up that makes you break bricks sideways, and so it's very much Metroid.
Did I talk about Curiosity yet?
No,
Did you download Curiosity?
I don't think
I did.
so.
I was loving it at
I
first.
tapped the shit out of that cube.
Me too. I was having a lot of fun, but the server problems were ridiculous.
That
keeping
game.
track
You're
of
talking about the iOS
yeah,
game.
it was
from,
always resetting what I did, and
you.
there's a lot of technical issues, but I did like it for what it was.
Is it done now?
I haven't checked back in a while. It got so frustrating.
So this was a game that Pierre Molyneux put out, and the idea is that everybody's clicking on bricks, basically,
Breaking
or
the
blocks.
cube layer by layer.
And so tons of people are working on this one big puzzle, and then at some point
It's not a puzzle. It's literally just tapping cubes.
At some point, somebody's going to get to the middle of this
Russian
thing,
doll.
and there's
Yeah.
supposed to be some amazing thing that they're going to get, and it's up to
gonna
them
be a
if they
picture
want
of
to
a
share it
fucking
with
cat.
everybody or not. But yeah, so it's not over yet?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think we would have heard what it was
Probably.
or someone got there.
But I guarantee you it's a picture of a cat.
Oh man! if I won and it had anything to do with cats, I would lose my fucking mind. I hate cat humor.
Yeah.
Fair
It's pretty
enough.
brutal. You know what you should do? Not tell anyone and just keep it to yourself.
Oh, if it was a cat, I would tell everyone. Be the first thing I say to them. The curiosity thing, he's a fucking cat.
All right, a few other quick things for me. Adventure Time for the 3DS. Picked this up, and I haven't really watched the show too much. So
What is this?
Adventure Time. It's like an animated show.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like an Adult Swim type show that makes fun of fantasy stuff. I can't really explain it. But anyway, they came out with a 3DS game, and it's kind of an homage to Zelda 2. So I picked it up, and like I definitely see that influence, and I'm enjoying it, but it's very much for kids. Like, it's really easy, I'm finding so far. And I don't know if it's going to get harder, but if I think it's easy, it's pretty easy.
And you love it for that reason?
No, I don't. It's okay. The 3D layered effect they have in it's kind of nice. But played a game called They Bleed Pixels, available on Steam, developed by, I think they're called Spooky Squid, a bunch of guys in Toronto. And it's actually kind of similar to Super Meat Boy, I'm finding. Like, it's a platformer. It's kind of got a Lovecraft kind of theme to it, but it's very cartoony, and the platforming is very precise. And the thing is, you go around sort of impaling enemies on different spikes and stuff. But the thing that I find pretty interesting is their save mechanic, or their checkpoint mechanic, is that you have to collect a bunch of glowing orbs throughout the level. Once you collect enough, if there's no enemies around, you will checkpoint at that point. But because those orbs are kind of sometimes in dangerous areas, you have to decide, do I want to risk it to try and save it right here, or do I want to wait, but then I might die from something else? It's kind of an interesting sort of risk-reward system. I thought it was pretty cool. And what else? Played a little bit of Hitman Absolution.
I just picked that up
How's
recently.
that?
I haven't played it yet.
It's good. I mean, I haven't played any other Hitman games, so I don't have anything to compare it to. Won it at a work party, so what the hell, I threw it in. And the thing I liked about it, and I was kind of worried because stealth games for me are kind of hit and miss. Like, I find if it's too easy to sort of get spotted, or like as soon as you get spotted, it's game over, I get frustrated by that. But this one has a really good, like, if you get spotted and you just want to start playing it like an action game, you can. And I found that, I would get into situations where I thought, if this was Metal Gear or Splinter Cell, it would be game over. But like, I'm continuing on, and the game keeps playing out, and I found that it was pretty adaptable that way. So I was enjoying it. And what else? Well, I'll quickly mention another Double Fine game, Middle Manager of Justice. This is their iOS freemium game they put out
I played
a little while ago.
A little bit of that.
I was pretty excited about this because I thought, Double Fine, they're super creative, always have interesting ideas and interesting takes on genres that are established. And I thought, if anybody can break the monotony of these freemium shit games on iOS, it's Double Fine. And I got bored of it pretty quick. Like, the idea is cool in that you are basically running a business for superheroes that are superheroes for hire, and you have to kind of level them up and send them out to do different missions. But it's just like every other freemium game. Like, it just gets really dull, and I'm like, what am I actually doing here? What am I actually accomplishing? It feels like nothing.
You're killing time.
Pretty much. So, I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed by that. And I guess I'll end off on my mindfuck of the month.
I was hoping.
Oh, I got a good
There was
one.
a movie recently that had a mindfuck line in it. I wanted to use as a soundbite for this, and I could never remember what the movie was after I saw it. I think it was something we reviewed for Film Junk, so I was wondering if you remembered it.
I'm not sure.
Fuck.
Die Hard?
No.
Side effects?
No, it was way longer than that. Anyway, sorry. Mindfuck of the month.
Yeah,
Woo.
So this is a big one. It's a game that actually just recently came out on Steam called Antichamber. Have you guys heard of this?
Yep.
So it's kind of like, I would compare it to maybe Portal on shrooms or something. Like, it's super trippy and super weird. And the idea is you're just kind of walking through this maze of, you're encountering weird puzzles at every turn. But they're not really puzzles where you have to pick up and manipulate stuff. I mean, maybe there are later in the game. The stuff that happens early on is everything is about, like, if you look at something from a certain perspective, or like you turn around and walk backwards through a door to get somewhere else, suddenly you're in another room. And it's really hard to explain, but like it's kind of this black and white, very simple, basic graphics, but they have like these weird colors on everything, and it's just got an interesting visual style. And like every time you kind of solve a puzzle, they give you a little, I don't know, adage or a little life lesson, and then you can kind of go back to the main room where you have sort of a map of all the puzzles you've solved and what all the little lessons were. And it's just this weird, I don't know, it feels like it's trying to be really philosophical and stuff, and I'm kind of digging the vibe of that. So
the mindfuck?
Yeah, it's definitely a good mindfuck if you're interested in that. So check it out. And I think that's pretty much it.
Guys at work were playing it. They're saying they really liked it.
Yeah?
They crushed it in like 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. So let's get on to a little bit of junk mail. Got some stuff. We put a call out for some questions from you guys because it's been a while. And you responded. So we actually got one from Blake in Boston, but he also had one left over from last time that we didn't answer.
Let's say congratulations to Blake on his recent engagement.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
So, hello, gentle junks. After playing 3 disparate assassination campaigns this fall in Dishonored, Assassin's Creed 3, and Hitman Absolution, I've come to a realization that I enjoy smaller, more detailed environments juxtaposed to ambitious open-world games that ultimately feel like big, lifeless dioramas. What say you, Sean, Frank, and Andrew? Where do you stand as a game man on this controversial topic? P.S. Frankie, do you have buyer's remorse on the Wii U yet? And he also has another question for Frank. He says, I picked up 2 PS Vitas on Black Friday, one for me, the other for my fiance. Besides the most awkward product placement ever witnessed in House of Cards,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Sony put forth anything to promote or support their handheld. So I say to you, Frank, what now? What fucking now?
Well, for the Vita, I think what they should do is they should get what I would call the worst member of the Toronto Raptors and have him go in a car and play it with people and show them how cool PlayStation All-Stars is. Like, that to me is how you sell that system.
You get athletes to play it.
Yeah, especially the athlete I'm speaking of is Landry Fields, who's a shitbox.
Oh yeah,
that's the marketing campaign in Canada right now for the Vita. It's on constantly on that TSN, so I'm bombarded with it, and I want to slip my wrists every time.
Don't you love the guy that they pull in to play it too?
Oh, do you walk around a lot? Oh my god, you could totally surf the internet on this thing. Oh, fuck. It's the worst. But I don't know. I'm just hoping the PS4...
They're going to bundle it.
Yeah, they might, but I just think it's going to bring new life to the Vita, and I blame developers mostly. They're just porting games, and I just want to see some original stuff.
Yeah, there's just not a ton of stuff out for it yet.
But what can you do?
Guacamelee crossplay.
That's one I'm definitely looking forward to. And then, what was the first part of I love
open world
dense
versus linear.
Small environments. As I've voiced earlier on the show, not crazy about huge travel times across open worlds. I think I took the taxi for 90% of my missions in GTA 4. Although I did like it in Red Dead. The horse riding, I did enjoy. Because, I don't know, the car driving is just, because everyone else is driving normal speed, you're avoiding crashes, and one little mistake.
And by normal speed, you mean super slow.
Yeah. So, the only game I've actually liked it in is Red Dead, and that's probably my favorite open world game out there.
Yeah, I think it works for that game because it really gives you that sense of like isolation out in the wilderness kind of thing. Like it really captures that.
And
Western
the hunting
vibe.
is fun. It's because of the hunting missions in between and collecting that makes the open world travel worthwhile.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I prefer small environments. I would say the perfect example of a 3D game with unique small environments and unique rooms. What is it, Dwight Guy? We're going back many, many years here.
GoldenEye?
No. Metroid Prime.
Perfect.
That's a good one.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I guess I can understand why certain people like open world games, because I think generally they just like having a sandbox to play in, right? But if you're actually going to sit down and try and play through the story, open world games are really frustrating sometimes in that regard. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you can give the illusion of choice without really giving tons of choice, that's a better way to go.
I would recommend Blake go back and listen to Jonathan Blow talking.
It's good call.
But not for too long. He'll drive you crazy.
No. From the PlayStation conference, listen to it all, because I think you're going to like what he has to say, Blakey.
And I think I like both. I think I like the detail world more, but I'm good. Like, I'm really enjoying Sleeping Dogs right now, and it's an open world, but I think they do a good job of keeping you contained in a smaller area and then slowly working you out so you don't get overwhelmed with the open worldness. I think GTA 3 or San Andreas did it pretty well also.
I don't hate open world games either by any means.
But I definitely like smaller linear experiences as well, I think, overall.
All right, so Rick says, greetings, James Gunkers. So since last time you guys did a Game Junk, there was a ruling and a whole bunch of news about the place you used to work at. I realize this may be something you do not want to talk about. If that is the case, please ignore these questions, but I was just so curious. How does working on something that has been ordered to be destroyed by the courts, whatever that means, feel? Do you guys all have extra copies of those games lying around? Is Frank planning on framing one? I have heard Dennis Dyack on multiple podcasts that I've been catching up on, and are they accurate to the man himself? My unrelated to SK question is, what do you think of the rumors going around that these consoles will have cell phone contract-like purchase plans, subsidizing the cost up front to force you into subscribing to the online service? Love the podcast. Always hope for more timely episodes. Rick.
As for the burning thing, I don't even know if it's happened, if it can happen. It just sounds weird to me.
With the destroying of games. Yeah, I honestly don't know who's going to make sure it happens, who's going to enforce it.
It's so weird to me. It seems like the most ridiculous thing in the world, but...
And I don't know how the judge can rule that, actually, even. It seems so... It's like book burning, in a sense. Like, you'd think it would be...
Yeah, it's like destroying art, really, right?
Yeah,
like
it's kind of a strange
And I would think,
thing.
let's say the argument is, you can't make money off that anymore, right? Well, shouldn't the money you made or some form of that come in the form of the settlement back to whatever Epic countersued for? I don't know that much about it, but I still see copies of all those games everywhere. So
they said at one point, I think Two Human got pulled off of Xbox Marketplace. Yeah. That was the only thing I've heard.
I just don't see how it can be enforced, and it is I
bought a copy of X-Men Destiny, though, when that ruling went down, just in case.
It is a strange ruling, and I don't see how it's... it's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have copies of all the games, so I'm not too concerned.
I got 2 copies of Two Human.
So do I. One's scratched to hell, though. So the rumors about cell phone contract type things for the new consoles, what do you guys think? Have you heard?
I hadn't heard that, actually, but...
I vaguely heard it, but I don't know where I heard it from.
I don't really like it, but it's no different than PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold right now, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess...
most people are paying for those.
They're making a lot of money off that, I'm sure. It's the same as, World of Warcraft subscriptions. I mean, if you can get people that are paying you monthly fees for something, it's potentially a gold mine, so it makes a lot of sense. But would it pay off in terms of the, lowering the price of the console for that? I don't know, because... I mean, I guess you just lock them in for...
I wonder if this was related to... I thought I read something about... You don't actually purchase it. You just kind of like license the console, and then you pay like whatever $80 a month or whatever. I wonder if it's related to that. That's the only thing I could think of.
I think part of this ties into the idea of used games, and even with digital downloads, there's like laws where you own that. You can do whatever you want with it, and I think this might get them around some of that stuff too. Like, you don't actually own anything, you're leasing it, so I think that might play into it as well. You're not actually buying
Or you're
anything. You don't
licensing
own anything.
Yeah.
So you can't sell it. You can't rebuy it. Like all that kind of stuff. I think that's the bigger part of that.
I just think it would be, I mean, I guess if it's just an option, then maybe that's one thing, but generally cell phone contracts are not something people like, you know? People hate having to deal with that shit.
But everyone does it anyway.
Well, because you don't have a choice,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So,
Well, but I'm saying,
Or you
like
me
people,
and not have one.
like, they've been around since cell phones have been introduced, basically, but I think, you know, to go from a console that didn't have that to one that does, people would be very angry, and it would keep people away from buying it.
maybe I'd buy it. I'd pay whatever a month. I don't give a fuck.
Well, of course you would. Okay.
You would too.
Maybe.
It's not just me.
I wouldn't.
You can play Steam. Have fun.
I will.
We'll be playing all the new cool games.
On Steam.
All right. Matt K says, yes or no, will this be the final generation of home consoles as we know it? I'm going to say no, but I think the end is in sight with things like Steambox, the concept of streaming games. Also, I was wondering if Frank has ever played the Batman the Animated Series game for Sega Genesis. This is the best Batman game ever with a really cool soundtrack. You get to fight the Joker, who is in a hot air balloon.
I have not played that game. I'll look for it. I'll make a mental note. I actually think I might have the cartridge from some big lot I bought on eBay, but I've put all my loose cartridges in some deep, dark corner of my house because they should not exist in any game collection. But I might dig it up just based on that recommendation.
We actually haven't talked about that yet.
What?
The retro games, but the retro day we did. Anyways.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We talked about Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, but just that, I thought.
Yeah, we talked about American Gladiators playing sports games.
Okay. Fine.
Is that just ginger ale?
That city's hammered right now.
Hammed.
I just gotta say though, I gotta take issue with the statement that is the best Batman game. Like, let's be real here. We've got Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. We've got Batman for the NES.
Didn't we
which
do a
was amazing.
top 5 Batman games?
I think we did
last show.
Superhero game.
Not last show, but when we did the Arkham show, the Arkham Asylum
something.
show.
Yeah.
I thought it was comic book games.
Yeah, maybe
Comic
that's what
book
it was.
games.
Because, yeah, I had Ninja Turtles arcade on it. Best Batman game? Batman Returns, Sega CD.
Arkham City.
Nice.
Probably Arkham City.
Just for the Batmobile level at the beginning. It really is awesome, though.
So, is this the final generation of home consoles? What do you guys think?
No.
I don't think so, but I think we're getting close. I think with
it
the
is.
Gaikai stuff.
But I think it depends.
You're
what you
always
consider.
the first to be like,
No,
this is the digital age, boys. You gotta understand, people can download anything they want at any time. That's the future.
I think it just depends what you consider a home console. Like, for one thing,
Here we go.
Apple could easily jump into the gaming market and say, you know what, if you've got an Apple TV and you've got an iPad or an iPhone, you can play games. And they could turn that into a whole gaming
Well, I would
system.
consider a console being the definition of this generation of consoles. You need to go out and purchase a box, and that's the only way you can play that content.
Right. So Apple TV would count?
Yeah, that would be a console in that case.
But is it primarily for games? Because Apple TV is not.
You could argue that depending on how you use your Xbox or PS3, it's not primarily for games.
My dad's never played a game on his PS3.
Well,
Only watches Netflix and Blu-rays.
then if you're looking at it that way, the console's dead already. But we didn't really talk about the Steambox thing, and I think that could shake things up quite a bit. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but
Lens flares.
I would be very interested in a Steambox. I love the idea of the building up a collection on Steam that never goes away. It just keeps adding to it and building to it, and all the sales. I would love it if Steam became the major.
You have it already. It's called your PC.
I know, but I don't mean that. I mean where I just feel like it gets to those places later and sometimes never for big games. Like, obviously, I wish there was cool exclusive games on Steam that are the quality of Uncharted and other things. I don't think there's that many exclusive PC games that I'm dying to play.
Well, what I'm curious about with the Steam Box thing, because I'm interested in it from the point of view of, like, yeah, I have a PC or laptop, but I like sitting on a couch, playing a game on a TV.
You can kind of do that with Steam now, but not all games, right?
Right. And it's kind of a pain in the ass. But if I could buy something fairly cheap to hook up to my TV to do that, I'd be very interested. But the thing I don't understand is, would they support, because on Steam, they also released the latest and greatest, like Crysis 3 or something, for PC. At what point...
Not Crysis 3, but...
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like, a lot of the new FPS games that come out, they will come out on Steam simultaneously. And, they will be, amped up as much as they can in terms of graphics and all that stuff. So would the Steam Box support that stuff? Or if it doesn't, and you put it out, or if it does, but then you put it out this year, by next year it won't support the best games on Steam. So I don't really understand how that would work.
I think it would. I think it'll be the exact same as a PC. And if they want to do like exclusive Steam Box, they could do that right now if they wanted to.
Yeah, like they could, but they don't.
They could essentially, I mean, Half-Life 2 was PC exclusive, right? So,
okay.
I mean, it wasn't Steam exclusive, but it was PC exclusive.
Sure, that is an example.
But now, obviously,
most of the PC exclusives are strategy games and
in indie titles.
Yeah, not doing it for me. Gonna have to step your game up, PC.
Well, just wait till The Witness comes to Steam first.
No, it says not.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, those are the kinds of games you might get first on Steam.
Maybe.
Okay, so Matt Z says, "Hey fellas, very happy to see you recording again. As always, hope it becomes a more regular thing. A question for you is about speed running video games. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept, but it's based on a very basic idea, playing video games as fast as possible. The past few years, a whole community has been built up around this. A lot of the people who play are regular streamers on Twitch TV or other streaming internet sites and regularly compete over world records in old school games, from Super Mario World to newer titles like Dark Souls and many other even more obscure titles. To name a few, Mr. Gimmick, Batman on the NES, and even the abomination that was Sonic 06. I was just wondering if you guys have ever done any speedrunning yourselves, or if you even see the point in doing so. Lately, friends and I have been racing Super Metroid weekends.
That's fun.
I gotta say, it's been an absolute blast to return to my old favorites in a brand new way. Keep it up. Much love from Toronto, Matt.
I will say, the one time, I'm not into speedrunning, but my buddy Mike in university, I watched him speedrun Super Metroid one night, and it was awesome. I only have an appreciation for speedrunning Metroid games.
I agree. Those are the best games to speedrun.
Did we have a question like this last show?
I don't know.
I think we might have talked about it at some point.
I feel like I talked about this already, but I'm not really into speedrunning either. But I watched a Zelda speedrun. Did I tell you about this?
Oh, you just told us about this at my house.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So this like Zelda speedrun, it was done Ocarina of Time on the N64 in something crazy like 21 minutes. And it took advantage of all these little, like, bugs in the code and bugs in the levels that allow the guy to teleport exactly where he needs to go. And, like, it was insane. It was very impressive to see. But I would never in a million years spend the amount of time these guys spent. And it's funny because it has him and 2 or 3 other guys doing commentary along with the speedrun. And they're using all these terms that they've obviously developed with the Zelda speedrun community to to talk about the language of the bugs, right? And it's amazing to me that these guys take so much time and find these little things. Like the one thing was, if you stand on the edge of a teleport sphere and drop bugs and then run back and hit a door, it'll actually like load 2 levels at once, and those levels add together to bring you to Ganon's final tower. It's like the craziest thing you'd never think of ever. And somehow these guys found this. And I think it also is a tribute to the games that people do speedruns for, because they're obviously so good that people put so much time into mastering them.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't have time to play games regularly. Why would I have the time to sink into mastering a game at this level? But I am pretty interested just in the sense, some of the stuff you're talking about, like just the weird shit people find in games that you never would think would be there. And it makes sense. I mean, obviously, when people get good at a game and they like it and they've beat it a billion times, you're going to look for something to take it to the next level. And I can appreciate it. I just would never do it myself. So, Gil. Okay, we got an email here from Terry who says, "Hey guys, I just had a few questions about the PlayStation 4. If you had to guess right now about price, how much do you think it will go for? Did you see enough at the Future of PlayStation event to want to run out this holiday season and pick it up? Or will you wait a bit? Were you surprised or bummed there wasn't anything about Uncharted 4? Take it easy, Terry."
Well, we talked about most of it. I'll say 500 low-end, 600 high-end models.
I'll say 450 low, 550 high. And I'm not too bummed about it.
Sean will say 451 and 550.
I will take
$1.
I will take $399 as the low. I'm going to say if they can hit that, they will be on to something.
They got a winner.
Between 400 and 500, though, I think. Probably. And will I buy one this holiday season?
Yes, Sean will. And yes, I will. And yes, Andrew will.
Nope. Probably not.
Surprised about no Uncharted 4 a little bit, but not bummed because it'll come eventually.
I was really hoping for that GTA 5.
That's what I thought was coming.
I thought they were going to announce it. Not exclusive, but just that it was coming and launch title. But
again, they're going to want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
They're going to have a day where they announce it and show it. And
I know that game got delayed until September, which is fairly close to launch time. So
yeah, that is kind of.
I was thinking that the PS4 would announce launching in September, but obviously it didn't. It said November. So
I was hoping they were going to go Saturn and say it's out right now.
I wonder if they probably chose November specifically because they realized that would force Microsoft to go next year, probably. Because if they did September, maybe Microsoft would go November. But now Microsoft would either have to be earlier than them or next year.
Or exact same time.
Same day.
Would they do that? I don't think so.
True battle.
I have a feeling Xbox will come out this year as well.
I think so too.
We'll see. Could happen. All right, a couple more questions. Austin in San Antonio says, I'll go ahead and get right to the point. Since I think you guys are already at the 3 or 4 hour mark, what does a next generation console mean for a small game developer? For the big companies, it's obvious they're going to pump out the best graphics or some new game mechanic that they can. But what about smaller developers who probably don't have the money or manpower to create that type of game? What do you think they'll have to do to stay in the market? Do you guys think they'll increase prices for this next generation? I remember when the Xbox 360 came out, prices jumped from $50 to $60 a game. I feel bad for saying this, but now I just wait a year to have the price come down a little bit. Anyway, can't wait to hear the new episode, Austin.
I don't think game prices will go up at all. I don't think they can at this point.
Yeah, I think Steam is really screwing over new game sales with all their sales that come out random times and for super cheap. I can't see them going any higher.
With iOS, the average price of games is just going down. And then...
But we have talked about the whole collector's edition thing.
Yeah.
I could see them doing for a big game, saying, you know what, buy the collector's edition, and that's all we're putting out initially.
Yeah, I could see them charging $100 for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I can't believe they don't. But
well, could happen.
And what was the first part, sorry?
What the next-gen consoles mean for smaller developers.
I don't know if it changes that much than the current ones. There's still pretty big teams to make a really big game. So I think you're just going to see more indie stuff. If anything, there's some reassurance from the press conference for smaller developers in that, PC ports are going to be easier. So they can work on a PC and get something out to a lot of platforms quickly. And a lot of engines like Unity and other engines are they'll do the work of porting stuff to other systems. So I think you're just going to see more engine structures like that are going to enable smaller companies.
Yeah, it depends how small we're talking. If we're talking like a studio of like 10 or under, if they're not doing like 2D games now, they'll probably have to switch to doing 2D or ramp up to be a bigger team size. There's no way you'd be able to populate a world like you were seeing in Killzone with a team of 10 people. It would take you 6 years or more, unless you had some really talented artists that could work really fast. But I don't know, if you had any teams over 50, they could probably pull it off, just maybe a little longer.
I find it kind of weird. Like there's a gap that's sort of widening between, like, if you're only an indie developer or if you're a gamer who only plays indie games. I don't know if the PS4 has anything for you, really. I mean, they obviously are pushing digital downloads and their PSN network. They're going to be, they're going to want indie games in there, but it's part of their plan, I'm sure. But it's still not something the smaller developers need to put out their games. I mean, they have many other ways they can do it. And I just think we're going to get to a point where these big consoles are going to have these gigantic, mega budgeted games, and then you're going to have the small indie ones on Steam, and there's going to be nothing in between. And I think that's kind of what the movie industry has become, and I think that's what the game industry will probably become. Possibly.
Touché. Right on.
All right, last question. And I had the same question on Film Junk, but quick question for you guys. I remember from the last show, Frank mentioning losing his job, and I was actually driving home listening to the show, having just lost my job too. So I was curious, has he found new employment? Hope so. Love the show. Michael McKinley.
Not in the games industry. Still doing my other thing, working from home, doing some database stuff. But
loving life.
I do. I like it a lot now, so it gives me a lot of freedom to do other stuff. And I don't know. I'd still be interested in getting back in the games industry at some point, but it's tough right now. I tried, and not a lot of open doors out there right now.
Nope. It's pretty rough.
And I'll when I was talking to recruiters, almost everything I got is some free-to-play PC online RPG.
There's a lot of iOS stuff that's just going to bomb hard.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't even care about that. I'm just not interested in that stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of indie stuff that maybe doesn't pay that well, and then it's it's such a hard decision to make sometimes. But yeah.
Sorry to hear about your loss, dude. The guy from the question.
Yeah, I know.
Sucks losing a job.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks, everyone, for the emails. And, you can reach us at the same address as filmjunk@gmail.com. So, we don't really know when we're going to record again, but
next week, right?
I'll go through some of the upcoming releases anyway, because we haven't really talked about this, but
it's getting hot.
It's huge. For
tons of good games.
February and March and April, usually there's a couple of games that come out, but everything.
Especially at the end of this, a life cycle, a console life cycle, you'd think it would ramp down, not up.
Yeah, but everything from last year got pushed back, which is arguably one of the reasons why 2012 maybe wasn't the greatest year for games, but. So let's see. Well, we've got this month, Dead Space 3 already came out. Aliens, Colonial Marines.
There's a winner.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, Crysis 3. March 5th, Tomb Raider, as well as Castlevania Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate on the 3DS. The next week, God of War Ascension, as well as StarCraft 2, Heart of the Storm.
Swarm? I think so, right?
I don't know. StarCraft 2 something.
March 18th, Lego City Undercover. You picking that up for Wii U?
Absolutely not.
No? I think it looks kind of cool, actually. Just saying. If I had a Wii U, I'd probably pick it up.
Hey, if it gets a 7.5 or higher, who knows what will happen.
March 19th, Gears of War Judgment. Anyone picking this up?
Yeah, probably.
Still have to play 3.
I don't even know if I put in 3. Maybe just to play multiplayer a little bit.
I heard if there's a deal at Walmart, if you buy that one, you can get Gears of War 2 or 3 for free or for $10 or something.
Already got them all.
March 19th, also Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for Wii U.
Interested.
March 24th.
We didn't talk about the biggest Rayman Legends,
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
non-exclusive and pushed a year.
that's rough.
Yeah.
That angers me. That was like the reason I bought a Wii U, pretty much.
Yeah, that's bullshit. It is. It's the worst.
Well, it's horrible for the Wii U as far as them trying to make a splash with that big exclusive game.
I don't understand why they would do that. Like, why wouldn't they just get it out there? Because they're going to sell copies.
Yeah, because I would have bought the action figures and stuff. It's really upsetting to me.
Yeah. Especially because they've said the game's ready to go. Like,
Did they actually say that?
It's not.
the developers themselves were like
no way.
basically pissed off at Ubi.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
All right. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, March 24th.
Pretty pumped for that.
Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah.
Is that the 3DS one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's next level, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And then March 26th, Bioshock Infinite.
Ooh, baby.
A lot of people looking forward to that one.
I'm one of them.
I'm the most looking forward to it.
I'm predicting I'm predicting that will be game of the year for me.
Could be.
I'm that confident.
Really?
Yeah.
And then a couple other things in April. We've got Injustice Gods Among Us, the Star Trek game.
Did you say... Did I miss Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Yeah, March
Okay.
5th.
March 5th.
Is that soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Super soon.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's insane. And then a few other things. Last of Us was coming out in May, but it got pushed back to June. And then...
What day? Tell me it comes out on my birthday.
14th.
Oh, 1 week away. Exactly. I got a Tuesday birthday, too.
Ouch.
Jackpot.
And then Splinter Cell Blacklist, August 20th, and GTA 5, September 17th. So probably around September is when we'll be recording again.
Oh, I think we got to do an April show.
April? What's April?
Like after we've had time to play Tomb Raider, Bioshock.
Yeah,
some
I
of
mean,
these big
I'm
games.
hoping to actually play a game, one or two of these games.
And
so.
Last of Us warrants.
Also, we'll need to hear from the GDC report. So,
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
of course, yeah. That's March 25th to 29th or something like that.
And by then, you guys should have Wii U's, and
yeah. Well, we'll see what we can
we
do.
should start a Film Junk Miiverse community or Game Junk.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Whatever
but
you need to do, Frank.
I don't think you can.
make it happen. And is that it? Is there anything else we need to mention? Well, I guess E3 is probably going to be a time that we'll want to do a show as well, but we'll see what happens.
Can you get us press passes for E3?
I don't know, maybe.
Let's do it.
We got 14 shows, baby.
I'm sure there's people
We're legit.
who have less credentials than us that have gotten in.
I would go.
I'd love to go.
Let's do it.
Road trip.
All right. Well, you can stay tuned to the Facebook page and our Twitter account for news, updates, and discussion that happens. Facebook.com/GameJunk and Twitter.com/GameJunkPodcast, and also the website GameJunkPodcast.com.
Yeah, sorry to people who actually write comments in there. I checked it like a month ago, and someone had written like 2 months after our last show, and so I responded to him anyways, although I know he didn't check it after that.
Yeah, it's like we try to
Put your comments in the Facebook page.
try to post the news. We don't always respond to the comments, but you know, people are discussing stuff, so that's cool. And I guess you can follow us all on Twitter as well. Twitter.com/DirtyFrank with 3 R's and Dirty. My Angry Commute. And Film Junk. And don't forget Citizens of Earth on Facebook.
One other thing, if you're a fan of the show and you have friends who like games, just maybe pass it along.
Rate us on iTunes.
We don't ask for a lot of pushing and stuff like that, but I'm sure if the community grew,
If they like
we'd be
a
more
bi-yearly
inclined
podcast.
to do more shows.
Right. If we had some serious sponsorship and advertising.
I don't mean that, but just like more talk and chatter.
More community.
That's true. Yeah.
I'd be more inclined.
More
to
people
make it
forcing
happen
us to
more
play
often.
Dark Souls and
That's
stuff
right.
like that.
Hey, it worked. That was like 3 people that were harassing us, so if you get like 10, I'm sure we'll be playing way more games.
All right. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time right here on Game Junk.
See ya.
Bye.
Frank's in danger of losing his first game ever of this Gretzky 3D hockey. He's claimed he's never lost before. He's down 2 with 35 seconds left. Apparently, every goal scored against has been a flaw in the game. He was down 3-0 and scored 3 unanswered. Quite the intense game.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad I got a score. Fuck! Let's go. Fuck me!
No, wrong guy!
It's over! It's over! He shocked the world!
It's not over, that's for sure.
It's
Not over until the buzzer says.
Wow. Remember this. The date that will live in infamy. Frank, the champ is down. The champ is down.
But really, there's no proof because we're both Vancouver.